of hate from Mephisto, and this combination executed perfectly at the end of the game.
From Alarak, make it a quad kill set up by that ETC.
Wow, did you see that mosh pit? 4-man mosh pit while on a conveyor belt. That was like a regular sushi line.
Nubarak, core at 50%. Both cores are just absolutely melting. Which one's going to go down first? I think this is going to be Respect the Gooses. Oh my goodness.
Ring. Oh my goodness, the ring. Jaina just pulling up everybody here. That's a 4, make it 5
And it
for
does
nothing.
knock them all up. What a play! Oh my God! Somebody please clip that. Ladies and gentle beans, welcome back to twitch.tv/MurdaRG. Tonight we have the Division A West Finals, and I'm joined by my man Stoic. We got Tainted Orphans and ReGen Retro tonight. How is it going, my man?
You know, I only got 2 words, and that's let's go!
Let's go! Speaking of let's go, I think all our players are already here. I told them we'd be ready right at the top of the hour. So I'm going to tell them we're ready to go. And in the meantime, perfect opportunity to tell you all about tonight's map bans. We had, of course, the Tainted Orphans as the higher seed. They're ranked number 1 in these playoffs. ReGen Retro, they're ranked number 3. So Tainted Orphans opted for first pick, means ReGen Retro first banned out Tomb of the Spider Queen and Alterac Pass. Tainted Orphans took away Braxis Holdout and Sky Temple. Game number 1 is going to be Dragon Shire. Speak of the devil, here we are in our first draft of the night. Stoic, what are we to expect this evening?
It's a good question. Dragonshire was a... These teams have played each other twice this season, each taking 1 match win. Last time they played on Dragonshire, ReGen Retro took the victory here to close out the first series of the season. So this is a map pick where they know they've taken maps off of Tainted Orphans. So as far as what we can expect, I don't expect Rexar to make it through.
Ooh, well, first ban of the night will be Johanna, a tank we are expecting to call a lot of in terms of picks and bans. One of the highest priority characters, heroes in the entire game. And already drawing that first ban now over to ReGen Retro.
Well, what are your opinions? I mean, her nerf, 5 seconds less on her shield.
Yeah.
And also the nerf to her level 20 Blessed Shield upgrade. Do you think she's still going to command that same presence?
Yeah, you make a good point. She's a bit more killable. Also, speaking of nerfs, Cassia receiving some nerfs on Wednesday as well. The other hero I want to mention is ETC, getting a bit of a increased cooldown on his face melt, which means
Looks like it's time for a shout
a
out.
bit harder for him to kind of play that main tank role, as he has done so well all throughout Season 9. Third ban of the night will be on Rexar, a good ban here on Dragonshire.
Yeah, you know, Rexar, I think, was part of the reason that ReGen Retro was able to take this last time they played. So definitely a little bit of respect, a little bit of map meta here. I wonder if, my personal thoughts are we going to see a Tychus played tonight? With lots of the top tanks receiving a little bit of a nerf, May not being available.
And Tychus getting a bit of a buff too. There's the ban on Yrel. Do you want to say a quick shout out was called out by El Taquito in chat. Says, oh my god, it's Murda and Stoic, bring the Sin Shader G. We did. I did mention ETC. That'll be the first pick of the evening for Bridge to Death.
Here we go. Strong pick. I want to see the Tank Buster tonight, though. We got 5 possible matches. I hope that the OG Tank Buster makes his way to the draft.
Well, Greymane, priority pick we saw in the last round, the semifinals. Big pickup for ReGen Retro here early. Going to pair it in with the Tassadar for Melly. And we already have our first hydrate of the night. This one coming in from our good friend Ektar. Ektar, congratulations! Everyone in chat, say congrats, Ektar. Am I allowed to say anything, Ektar? I don't know. Just say congrats, Ektar. I won't mention exactly what it is in case you don't want the whole world knowing, but congrats, Ektar is definitely deserved. Here's Dahaka, my favorite, and Junkrat.
Interesting picks. Dahaka, not something we see too often on this map. As far as solo laners go, he's a little less popular, but still quite a strong pick. The global allows for a lot more exciting rotations available. You know, Greymane's interesting here, also receiving a slight nerf, but this is also a little bit of a ban because Tainted Orphans has played Greymane in 75, or excuse me, has a 75% win rate on the Greymane this season
75 games, every single one.
for the last 5 seasons.
Looking to ban out a healer, ReGen Retro are going to take away a Stukov here, leaving our final ban of map number 1 in the hands of Tainted Orphans. They take away a healer themselves. It'll be the Grandma. Anna has been banned out.
Solid ban. It leaves a hero like Rhaegar on the table still, who could go well with Greymane and the Archon of Tassadar. Is that where they go? Rhaegar also receives a slight nerf onto the Bloodlust.
This is true.
Altanian, we'll see what he picks up.
Yeah, still no healer, no tank yet. It's going to be Zool and Tyrande. Oh, we saw Tyrande last week from Altanian on Sky Temple. And that was pretty spooky to say the least. It was chunking down heroes with that Sentinel build. And the Zool pickup. This is, you know, is it for the solo lane? Perhaps. Or main tank Zool somehow? What are your thoughts there?
Main tank Zool, we're going to have to see something like a Medivh. But even then, the displacement of Junkrat, ETC, and Dahaka would make a main tank Zool very hard to pull off.
What? Karazim?
Got a buff, but still hasn't been meta for a long time.
Yeah, a bit more healing, right?
Like, yeah, 6.
Six more healing. Okay.
Baseline, it scales, but still, I mean, with a healer like Karazim and Tracer, I think they're looking to chase. Like, they're looking to run it down a little bit.
Absolutely. I mean, like, you have the Junkrat, more of a poke style. It will be the taunt variant coming out for Zami-Bars. You saw this game number 1 last week when we got to cast them up against, what was their opponent? Phoenix Rising Ruby, of course. But taunt variant, game number 1, they're bringing it out already.
Yeah, you know what? This comp is so strong here. Like, Tracer is a kind of a scary pick, but then when that taunt variant just shuts her down. And a Zool root on top of that, oh, lots of ways for people to get blown up here.
Well, I just opened up our game number 1 poll. Who's going to win it? Will it be the Tainted Orphans or ReGen Retro? Head on over to chat right now up at the top of your chat bar. Select the team you want to win. Be sure to hit that submit button, and your votes will be tallied live on screen. Already looks like a couple votes coming in, so thank you for participating. We're going to try to keep count all night. Like how you guys are doing, right? You're not playing, but you're participating in the vote. So if you win all the votes, chat, you guys are great. If you lose all the votes, chat, go home. What's wrong with you? I do want to say thank you for everyone who's already here. If you're not already following the channel, be sure to hit that follow button before you go. Love to see you guys here all throughout Season 9 and, of course, Season 10. It'll be here soon, and you're going to want to remember how to get right back here at twitch.tv/murderrg. Without any further ado, I present to you guys Dragonshire, game number 1 of the Season 9 Division A West Finals. Stoic, you want to kick us off on the left?
I sure do. On the left team, home team for the night, we have the Tainted Orphans with Bridge to Death playing ETC, Rhaegar playing Tracer, Will to Live on Junkrat, Variations playing Dahaka, and Waffleman playing Karazim. Tainted Orphans.
And over on the red side this evening, we have Altanian playing the Tyrande Zami-Bars, the captain on the Varian. Splash playing the Greymane, Aaron on Zool, and Melly on the Tassadar. Give it up for ReGen Retro. And there's the Sentinel going all the way down mid. Does it hit? Yes, it does. Woo.
Chunks. Some B-stepping.
B-step dancing
Already
of fun and friendship, right? And walls of friendship, too, apparently. That's a long cooldown for Tassadar. You know, whatever.
Lots of friendly chats here before this match starts. These teams are looking to win, but also they're already having some fun.
So looking at the Dahaka build, will be enhanced agility. Going to give him a bit more of nimble movement to pair in nicely with that Tracer, who's already trying to chase down this Zool, but quickly rooted is Rhaegar as Aaron makes the retreat up to the top wall and will be just fine.
Yep, much faster lane clear priority for the blue team. Looks like as they're already commanding this Bermuda Triangle.
Sentinels, got to keep track of them. Already hitting a couple here for Altanian, but not quite at the full stacks. We saw level 13 last week. It really starts to come online. First shrines of the game going to be activating in 25 seconds as we see Retro starting to look at their siege camp, but Bridge to Death nearby on this ETC, keeping eyes on the camp, going to make it tough for Melly.
Yeah, you know, Tyrande 3 times the hero damage of Tracer at this moment.
Well, Junkrat's got a concussion mine down. There's going to be another scout with that Sentinel, but way too late here for ReGen Retro to do anything about their siege camp. They do pick up their bruiser camp. It's going to be heading up that top lane, but a nice steal already from the Tainted Orphans, showing their aggression as they know this Varian not quite a hero until level 4.
Yeah, definitely a smart way to play this here. They've probably watched. I bet they know how ReGen Retro wants to play this here. They know what they can get away with before 4. Taking advantage of it here. Bridge to Death. Taking a little bit of damage, but not afraid of Varian. That level 4, now he becomes scary with taunt already online.
Yeah, that's what, of course, we were expecting to see the taunt for Zammy bars. Already nearby this ETC, going to get some free damage out. Follow-up, Lunar Flare not going to hit from Tyrande that time. As Retro makes their move back, have to wait out that cooldown each time Varian releases that taunt.
Yeah, it's back up in 3 seconds. Such a fast heroic. This is going to dictate the pace of this bottom lane here.
Top lane currently held by Zool. Bottom lane was just gathered by ReGen Retro. They're in control of both of these shrines. But no one at mid as they find the taunt onto Tracer. Follow-up Lunar Flare does connect that time on Waffleman, but he's just fine. Good tanking there by ETC, able to slow down the play a bit there from ReGen Retro.
Yeah, Tracer soaking mid-wave, though, you know, also defending, allows them to have a little bit, about a third of a level lead here.
Yeah, did I call this Tracer? It was Karazim, it's not Tracer.
It's fine. I knew what
You know, completely ridiculous, Murda. It's 11 o'clock here on the East Coast. It's late, but we're going to be up all night. Remember, this is a best of 5 this evening. So we could potentially be here well past midnight, Stoic.
I hope so.
I hope so, too. I got nothing better to do.
Jammy Bars is stuck. ETC slides, though. No body block, but the dragon is channeled mid lane.
Yeah, good channel. It looks like Greymane not quite able to get on top of Tracer that time. Slight XP lead currently for the Tainted Orphans. You can attribute that to the camp steal down in the bottom lane earlier, and a bit better wave clear we've seen thus far. Especially with that Tracer was soaking that mid lane so much better than the Greymane was able to, and we missed first blood. Happened down here in the bottom lane. Tyrande is down. Junkrat with the kill.
Yeah. Unfortunate here. This Dragonite, though, able to maybe get this top wall, but not much past. Capped so quickly, not able to get the a full wall, or maybe it gets it here. What am I saying? Caster nurse.
And they got the bottom wall as well, so this is already looking really good for the Tainted Orphans. Picking up 2 walls during the first objective. It's going to mean about a full level lead, as well as getting that kill on Tyrande, certainly helping their XP total right now.
I have seen enough.
Yep. Forts and Wells, though, still intact here in these bottom 2 lanes. Red team can definitely stabilize here.
Well, Drool's going to make that rotation down to mid and help assist the team. Here comes a charge in from Varian. Taunt is there as well. Walls down. Bridge of Death on the wrong side of it, but able to power slide around it. Back to safety. Still no kills for ReGen Retro.
I can't help but wonder if Aaron would have saved that route to use on Bridge of Death if ETC would have been able to, if he would have fallen there.
Tyrande chunking Tracer down to about 25% health. I don't know if you saw that, Stoic, but
I did.
I think Altanian had an idea Raybar was here on this camp and put a nice chunk out. Kind of tough for Karazim to heal up, I'd imagine, in some of these situations. Going at level 1 with the Iron Fist. We didn't mention that yet, so a bit more damage, but a bit less healing as now Melly's in trouble. Gets Concussion Mine over the wall. Karazim gonna flash on in. Barely making it away is Tassadar. That was quite the attempt by Waffleman.
Yeah, excellent save from Junkrat coming out there. Melly's very thankful.
Couple camps on the map. Bruiser camp available for ReGen Retro. Siege camp available for the Tainted Orphans. Looks like Junkrat is going to get started as Tragghouls is going to be completed there by, or Jailers rather. Tragghouls was picked up at 7, but Jailers is completed by Zool. So a bit more skeleton damage now for Aaron, who's been doing rather well so far up against this Dahaka in the top lane. Variations having some trouble in the early portion.
Yep, Bruiser camp being picked up to continue that pressure top lane. But with this Shrine activating in the next 15 seconds, Dahaka's going to grab this mid soak, and we'll see how these teams posture. This bottom camp's still available. Zamibar's going in, not able to find a taunt there.
They do get the well. Fountain down to the bottom lane for ReGen Retro. Going to make it tough here to sustain in the bottom lane now, as the bottom shrine, this Sun Shrine, or excuse me, the Moon Shrine, going to be picked up by Tainted Orphans. Up at the top lane, Aaron here working on this shrine. We'll be able to grab it for ReGen Retro, one apiece. So no Dragon Knight pressure yet. It's just Dahaka under some trouble. But Tracer's here this time. Poison Nova coming out from Aaron. There is the sticky bomb from Tracer. Can she get the kill? Not quite. Aaron's able to disengage out of that. Now bottom lane, let's look at Junkrat barely moving out of that. Starfall with the concussion mine will survive. Oh, Owl almost hit him though.
Oh, wow, those owls. We're going to see it this game. It's going to be a long range. 360 no scope. Splash, knowing with Greymane speed on the camp, can take this bottom. Looking to get that quickly. Blue team without not really knowing where red is. Afraid to step onto this point. A little bit cautious.
They might check this out. Oh, they got some grenades coming in. Not quite in time with the face meld as ETC, and everyone's able to move away. There's the wall. Just a second too late from Melly. Both shrines in possession of ReGen Retro. They got this bruiser camp in the bottom lane. Another Owl is going to come out, not going to connect onto Tracer, but no one's here at mid for Retro as of yet to work on this Dragon Knight.
Yep, consistently running in this four-man bottom allows Tracer to just kind of sit mid, and they've not been able to capitalize on the number imbalance.
Grisha Death walled in there, but will be able to escape. Zamibar just making sure no one's walking onto the shrine. More scouting coming out from Tyrande. Gonna see this Tracer making the move up. Aaron's got to be careful, but just got tongued by Dahaka and killed. Variations, who was having a bit of trouble early, connecting with the big money drag that time on Dahaka.
Yep, now with the both altars, or both points channeled, Zamibar finds the stun, but Waffleman will escape. Tracer moving down to see if she can grab that dragon. Greymane decides not to go stall. Looks like this is going to go in favor. Oh.
Barely. Yeah, Zami able to move on that point. Here comes ETC Mosh Pit on one, interrupted by Altanian's Lunar Flare. There's the Cursed Bullet. Can they get the kill? No. Nice ice block there from Dahaka going into the burrow, keeping himself alive. First kill of the game for ReGen Retro, but they do lose their Tyrande. Archon going to expire for Tastar, and they can't find any more kills yet, but here comes Zami. Maybe looking for more. The taunt does land it, but in a weird spot now. Going to be in trouble. Concussion mine down, picking up the kill yet again. Fourth of the game for the Tainted Orphans, and make it 5.
Wow. That fight was just like so close. If Tyrande would have been there, I think she could have kept them healthy, but blue team now gonna take this opportunity to push it down bottom. Woo! Owl chunks ETC, which will keep the fort healthy, while they opt to steal the camp instead.
Yeah, in the meantime, Zul's been doing this double soak up and down, top and mid, but still not back in this game. Our ReGen Retro down by a level 5-1 in kills. I'm going to put those up on the screen for you. One apiece for every single hero on the Tainted Orphan side, and still just that one kill for ReGen Retro. It belongs to Greymane.
Okay, Dahaka will get the channel top. You'll definitely need to be... Let's see what ReGen decides to do here. Looks like they're showing 5 mid. Do not want to give another objective over to Tainted Orphans here. But this allows Dahaka to get pushed on the top wall. And a level and a half lead in favor of Tainted Orphans.
Well, Stoic, we're at level 13 now. So look at this harsh Moonlight picked up by Tyrande. And if Altanian can continue doing what he has been doing, yeah, this is like the spooky time of Tyrande's Owl build.
Yeah. I mean, if she cross-map hits someone with an Owl, a 40% slow allows Varian to connect, as he does here. Oh,
here comes Dahaka. Brush Stalk in. They do find the drag on Tyrande again. Big mosh pit as well onto Varian. Looks like Zami's going to go down. Double kill for the Tainted Orphan. Still looking for more with Tracer in chase on the Zul, and they will pick it up. A triple kill, almost level 16, and now a wide open Dragon Knight, their second of the game.
Oh, wow. Tracer could take out mid and bottom forts here and start working on this bottom keep wall. Significant lead now for the Tainted Orphans here.
Yeah, this mid fort is so low.
Yeah.
Bottom fort's already down. And Dahaka, look at him. He's back up top working on continuing this XP lead. A 2-level lead right now. Taking a quick peek at some of the XP totals. It's 12,000 on the board for Dahaka. Just 10,000 for Zul.
Dahaka finding those extra 2,000 really has allowed the blue team to continue to stay ahead here. 5 in the bottom looking to defend from ReGen. Tracer just willing to step back and use the 38 seconds that are left on this Dragon Knight to just kind of poke this wall down.
And they're just going to use that fire breath, breathing down, as now the concussion mine is going to put Splash in a horrible spot, but he's able to disengage out of it. Starfall is down. Dragon Knight going to boot away Varian. Riptire out from Junkrat, not going to do too much as the wall is down. Just 14 seconds remain on the DK. Might be time to back up, or is it? Tracer's going to boot away Tyrande. And I think that'll be it. Just 5 seconds left, and this keeps still pretty healthy.
Yep. Zul had left and was continuing to double soak, but this level 16 talents here is still quite a bit away for ReGen.
Uh-oh. Power slide in, and the wall is down. Varian on the wrong side of it, trying to get a taunt out. There's the cursed bullet. Varian still surviving, but Tracer in chase finds the kill. Able to recall away. Here comes Dahaka. Gonna try to get this Greymane, and does. Variations is on fire with this drag. A double kill yet again for the Tainted Orphans. Now with 5 heroes in this bottom lane, could push onto this keep.
Yeah, the peel there was absolutely incredible from Dahaka. Wow.
Greymane having to play aggressive, right? And diving in deep, but just the control provided by ETC and Variations multiple times now, getting into these fights at the perfect moment. Able to really shut down the fights and secure the kills for the Tainted Orphans. Stealing away now a Bruiser camp, going to push down the final fort, and Zul in the wrong side of town. Gonna fall again. Aaron is down. This fort will not be able to stand much longer. Retro finding themselves down 10 kills now on Dragonshire.
Yeah, it's been rough. You know, this comp works, and we've seen it be so scary, especially in the hands of ReGen Retro. I think this Junkrat trap build is really, really screwing up the engages here from the red team.
Another chance to prove
they're going to start rotating down. This Bruiser camp could be in trouble. They're pretty slow to get it. Now you see them trying to retreat. Zammy's here, dropping some of his protects. Power Slide's going to slow it down. There is the pulse round. And I don't think Varian gets out of this one. Another kill. 12th of the game for the Tainted Orphans. A 3-level lead, and this Bruiser camp is going to be all theirs.
Yeah. You saw that Greymane and Varian knew they were getting rotated on and just split up and said, all right, one of us is going to die.
Avenge my husband.
Empower picked up at 16 for Tyrande. Will it be enough to save the day? This Owl build, the talk of the town in chat right now. Hitting multiple targets there. But look at this. 2 shrines quickly secure. They're making the move up to the Dragon Knight at mid. Bridge to death, trying to make some room for Tracer. There goes Rayvar, going to be interrupted. No, skinny body.
Wow.
Yeah, she's been working out, losing some weight, that Tracer. Barely avoiding that Owl that time.
Oh my, she must be wearing the swimsuit skin, because I think that definitely should have clipped her shirt. That was so close. All right, well, this is now 3rd objective. Working on its way on the mid keep. As they have a Bruiser camp in the bottom.
And a Siege camp.
Oh, and a Catapult. This is almost a checkmate situation here with both keeps under threat.
And level 20 is online. I'm going to put those talents up on your screen quickly so you can see those as this fight is taking place. Bolt of the Storm picked up from ETC. Already landed a couple pretty good mosh pits earlier. Not really needing too many targets, just really taking out one piece of the puzzle is more than enough for the Tainted Orphans. And they will take down one of the keeps. First one is the bottom lane, now setting their focus on this mid lane.
Kerosene picking up Epiphany at level 20. Very interesting pickup here.
Another boot, that one away onto Varian. Dragon Knight down, and the retreat is on from the Tainted Orphans. Not willing to push in any further with Zul here. A lot of extra skeletons and a bit of zone control. Do have to keep eyes on their siege camp. We'll find a Kerosene scouting it. And here comes the rest of the Tainted Orphans. ReGen Retro nearby this time, but still down 2 levels.
Yep, Dahaka going back top to deep push this wave. Red team just going to give this not wanting to contest if they can before 20. Looking to make that last stand if they can and swing the tide here.
Yeah, it looks like they just want to turtle around their keeps and make sure they don't lose any more structures. Let the XP come to them. They got to wait out another level and a half as 21 has been achieved for the Tainted Orphans. Well ahead in this game, still up 12-1 on kills, and slowly starting to move into that checkmate situation.
Oh wow, what a tough situation for the red team here. Like the amount of patience that is needed to pull this off. They got to look for the perfect engage, and even then, it might not be worth taking it.
Well, Tassadar starting to get a bit stronger. Static charge now up to 175 out of 250. Not quite completed yet, but as that continues to stack, the more and more damage they're able to do, especially in this burst combination, if they can find a fight and a target that they can kill early.
Prepare yourselves, heroes. The shrines will soon be activated.
Well, they see this clear in the top lane. They're going to start making a move back towards mid, but they're going to find Tassadar in their face, very nearby. Tyrande here as well, still holding on to that Starfall.
Wow, you know, Tyrande here with fourth most damage in the game. Definitely getting so much value here out of this Owl.
ETC just face melted Barry in there and started taking some shots from the keep. They don't make it back. Another Bruiser Camp is pushing in this top lane, or maybe it's just this one Merc still standing. Aaron's going to be nearby. Still no level 20s. They need to defend this Dragon Knight. Rayvar is here looking for it, and he's going to get it. Uncontested. Varian couldn't make it up. Now the nice power slide through onto Varian. Riptire's out, and Zamibar's down. No Varian for this defense, and that's going to be 60 seconds without him.
Ooh. ETC blinks in, looking for the slide. Onto Oltanian. Mosh Pit is available, not opting to use it here. This will be the heroic defenses. 20 is about to be online for ReGen Retro. They're hoping that they can get this and swing their favor.
Yeah, unfortunately for ReGen Retro, they didn't have level 20 in time for Melly to pop that Archon and be able to sustain through this defense. So it's already expired. This DK still with 50 seconds left, but pretty low on health, down to 30%.
Yeah, actually opting here for Kala's Gift, hoping to get that value to the Q, but Kerosene finds the pick on Azul. Dragon Knight falling very low here, but the core is now at less than 80%. ETC gets stunned.
Oh, first time we've seen that all game.
Yeah, it's true.
Divine Palm from Kerosene keeping ETC alive, and that's going to be game number 1. 14-1 in kills going to be handed over to the Tainted Orphans.
Ooh. You know, the Tainted Orphans here, from a minute and 30 seconds here into the game, they decided, it was earlier than that when they invaded that camp, they just kind of set the tone and set the pace there. And they got themselves an enormous lead.
You're exactly right. It all started first play of the game from them, stealing away that siege camp from ReGen Retro. They said, hey, we're here to play. We're going to play aggressive tonight. They brought out that huge dive comp with the Tracer and the Kerosene. And you'd think that having the Varian up against Tracer may be a good matchup for them, but it just never really paid off. Such good control from both Dahaka and ETC on the front line, and you got to credit Junkrat as well with some pretty money concussion mines in that one.
Oh, yeah. You know, if you'd have asked me as we loaded in, I would have said here, oh, ReGen Retro takes this one. I've seen this come up. It's scary. I've seen the follow-up. But Tainted Orphans did their homework and had their number.
Well, we're going to be taking a very short break and helping our captain set up game number 2. If you're not already following the channel, be sure to hit that follow button. Here is a quick word from our sponsors. welcome back in. I believe Taco sent a request to Stoic to put some shades back on.
Oh, shoot.
Welcome back, everyone. Game number 2 about to be underway, and as Taco did mention in chat, we're heading into Cursed Hollow. I guess he was hanging out in the NGS chat in-game. Well, after game number 1, a lot to talk about. The global play from Dahaka, and now moving to a map like Cursed Hollow, we could end up seeing that champ again.
Yeah, Dahaka here would provide that same level of soak. Oh, I'm in a bush, and I've got a perfect tongue, and I'm going to drag you into my team, and you're going to die.
The other hero that we might end up seeing again, the Junkrat, so good at stalling out these tributes on Cursed Hollow, setting up zone control around them as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we see almost a rerun of the game number 1 draft out of the Tainted Orphans.
It definitely worked for him there. Junkrat has good control as well. Like a boss could put up those mines early, which allowed them, to take that camp, steal that camp at the beginning. I think they could run that same comp, and it would go very well for him. I agree.
Well, Retro opting for first pick here in game number 2. This was the map selection of the Tainted Orphans. So Zamibar's on the clock with the first ban. In game 1, they took away Cassia and Urel. This time, they don't want to deal with the slug. Abathur's going to be banned out.
Interesting. With an Abathur ban here, we could something's going to slip through. We'll have to see what ReGen Retro wants to get with their first pick here.
Ooh, ETC ban this time, not the Johanna.
Yeah, interesting. Cassia, Johanna will be available. Tassadar as well. I imagine one of those 3 will be our first pick, one of our first picks.
Do they change their bans around even further? They already took away the Abathur. Do they think about taking out the Junkrat as well? It gave them a lot of trouble in some of that zone control setup. What? The Lost Vikings have been banned out. Okay.
Interesting. I don't know if this is
Is this a pick? I mean, you're my stats guy.
Yeah, you know what? I wasn't expecting it. Let's see. I'll be right back.
Well, we got one more ban waiting here for the Tainted Orphans. They're going to take away another tank. It is Johanna. Second game in a row from them.
Cassia's got to be the first pick here from Splash. There it is. Cassia's so strong.
It's going to leave that Tassadar still as an option. I doubt Tainted Orphans want to give the Tassadar over to Melly to pair him with this Cassia. But other heroes, do they want to go ahead and grab their tank early? Not a lot of them left. And if they're going to make a priority pick happen, it might have to be now. And it's going to be the Muradin, who recently, I think, got a little bit of a buff on Wednesday.
Yeah, he got a baseline buff.
And the Greymane picked up a pretty good response to a Muradin. The Cursed Bullet can, of course, chunk out a huge portion of that Avatar health. So I like the combo selection at 1 and 2 for the Tainted Orphans.
Yeah, if I was playing Cassia and I saw a Tassadar, I would almost like that. The Chakra range is almost the same as the Valkyrie range. Nice, easy. Come to Papa.
Well, they don't go with the Tassadar. I'm a bit surprised. They're going to switch over to Orphea this time in game number 2 for Melly. I'm a bit shocked, but does this make sense? They're going to have the Orphea, potentially the Crushing Jaws combo with the Garrosh Taunt. Is that going to be enough?
Enough damage?
Is it?
Orphea Cassia, that's spooky damage.
It's spooky damage.
It is spoopy. I think definitely, an Orphea, the meta Orphea build right now just puts out an absurd amount of basic attack damage. And with no Mei and no Johanna, Muradin as the tank, not a lot of blinds. There's a lot of damage coming in hot.
Final ban will be Malfurion this time from ReGen Retro, trying to take out a support, and that's the one they land on. Gonna leave open pretty much all the supports outside of Malf and Ana, of course. You got Deckard Cain as an option. You got that Lucio as an option, which might be nice with this Greymane. They show they want to play a dive style comp. Here's the Dahaka again, and Yeah, it will be the Lucio.
Interesting. Lucio also going to provide some of this utility in these like Cursed Hollow has lots of walls. There's lots of play around that. All of these objectives have walls as well.
Is this going to be Leoric to pair him with Orphea? The dirty toilet bowl?
Could be. Ooh.
No, it's Yrel. And the Rhaegar for Altanian.
Okay, that's a run it down. That's scary. I cannot see Vikings in Tainted Orphans match history.
Interesting.
Abathur has been banned against them twice, though.
Well, I wonder why the Lost Vikings banned then.
Maybe just it's possible they were just playing the draft game to allow a hero like Cassia to slip through.
Okay.
And maybe they're afraid, like, because if somebody's got Vikings can be so hard to pick up on this map. Falstad,
double global here. Dahaka and Falstad here in game number 2.
Double global and speedy rotations with Lucio. They have a comp that can macro heavy and still deal incredible amounts of damage.
Well, I'm about to open up our game 2 poll in game 1. You guys split the decision, a 50-50 vote. So you don't get a win, you don't get a loss. We'll just reset the count, like you guys haven't been here all night. Time to vote again. Head on over to chat up at the top, select the team you want to win, and hit submit. Stoic, who do you think is going to take this game number 2?
Well, Johanna's banned, but Cassia is in play. But Cassia did get a little bit of a nerf. I give this one to ReGen Retro. I think that they've got this. I think that they set up their draft because they want to get Splash onto Cassia and make those plays here. And I think they're going to punish Tainted Orphans here and make them ban it in a game 3.
Well, thank you for that hydrate request from Sparky NGP as we load on in to game number 2. Stoic, you want to lead us off again?
I sure do. In the blue team, on the left, we have Bridge to Death playing Muradin, Rhaegar playing Greymane, Will to Live on Falstad, Variations playing Dahaka for the second time, and Waffleman on Lucio. It is your game 1 winner, Tainted Orphans.
And over on the red side, we got the Captain Zammy Bars playing the Garrosh Melee on the Orphan Annie Orphea. There's Altanian playing the Rhaegar Splash on Cassia, and Aaron on the Yrel. Give it up for ReGen Retro.
Waffleman posturing, looking for a rotation. Or maybe just doing some dance for us here at home.
Maybe just making sure no one gets around them. He's the scout right there on the Lucio.
Yeah.
The fastest hero in the game, as they say. But, you know, he's fast. But you got to talk about how fast these rotations are going to be with a double global Dahaka and Falstad. That's really the talk of the town here in game number 2.
Yeah, Falstad already setting up to take this Vision Camp. Will it be waiting at the Siege Camp? Yeah. Ready to go on this macro here.
Trying to maybe exploit this Dahaka a bit. Variations could be in trouble. Here comes Garrosh, the toss, the stun. And without a lot of stacks on his Essence, it's going to be first blood quick over to ReGen Retro.
Wow. That's what they're looking for to get this game started here. Will to Live and Rhaegar swapping places in lane for Falstad to clear while Greymane takes this early Siege Camp. Cassia immediately going to take the Bruiser Camp for ReGen Retro.
Early look at these talents will be the bribe from Falstad, and on a map like Cursed Hollow, that's going to get a lot of play here. And we do see the Ancestral Strength coming out from Orphea. Couldn't think of the name of it, even if I had it hovered over to read the name.
It's her ace in the hole.
Absolutely. That's a great way to put it. I didn't think about it like that. Bruiser Camp picked up first by ReGen Retro, a bit behind on the Siege Camp though, and you see Greymane and Lucio here comboed in on the Bruiser Camp of their own. Looks like they're going to try to hold on to it and maybe clear out the side of ReGen Retro first. Waffleman will finally secure it.
Both of these teams playing the camp game. I love it.
Yeah, but look at this Siege Camp. This is the one that's going to get value because our first tribute will be in the top lane up here next to Yrel. This is where Falset's been. Using that flight there was Will to Live, so won't have the global option for a bit. But I like the decision to hold there. They're going to maybe get some value during that first trip if they're able to stall it out for a sustained amount of time.
Yep, at least they're going to make that Dahaka have to decide, does he stay to clear the siege camp, or does he Z up to be there on time? He's going to have to choose. He can't do both.
Well, Garrosh needs to choose too. Still down here and just 15 seconds away. Won't be able to set up around this tribute first. It's going to be Murden holding a pretty aggressive bush here as the rest of ReGen Retro waiting to make their move, but they need their tank before they can do so.
Yeah. Aaron here picking up Maraud's insight at level 1. Not that dauntless after the recent nerf. Speaking of Aaron, making it out.
Oh!
Could have used dauntless right there. That armor would have been very helpful against those false dead basic attacks.
Volcani going to try to get this channel as Garrosh going to try to push a few heroes away. Now Rhaegar under some pressure. Murden hopping over the wall with that Dwarf Toss. Healing Totem down, but quickly destroyed by the Tainted Orphans.
Health bars in favor. Dahaka still bottoms. This is a 4v4. Dahaka now
Here's
showing
that
up.
take. Has to toss him away. A lot of damage coming out from Cassia. Zamibar's low, has that armor. Will be able to scoot away. Nice heal there from Rhaegar.
Aaron is back though. This is now a 5v5. Mana bars and health in favor of ReGen Retro. Will to Live gonna B and then probably Z back in. Will they be able to find something in time? Rhaegar dropping very low. Aaron stepping up. Bridge to death also thrown back. Jumps out. Variations looking for a tongue. Has to use that stasis, but Will to Live is back in the fight.
Opting not to clear out that siege camp at the bottom lane. This is exactly what ReGen Retro wanted to happen during this first trib. And they're getting a lot of damage out with the combo of these heroes. Yarel with their second kill of the game, and the tribute will be secured. Now Falstead on the wrong side of town. Will to Live trying to run away, but Melian Chase. It's going to be a double kill for ReGen Retro. Siege camp still on the map, getting some damage onto this wall. Should be a tower down momentarily, or will it? Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Lucio's here in time.
But you know what? I think this might be a camp steal.
Definitely will be. Falsehead still dead for another 4 seconds. They do take away that vision, so they know they're here. Little scouting from that healing totem in the bush as Murden's going to try to walk on in. 4 heroes here from ReGen Retro. Now turning their focus onto Greymane. Rhaegar could be in trouble. I don't think he gets out of this. No, he doesn't. Another kill for Retro. They don't care about the camp. They got to kill, and that's worth a little bit more.
Yeah, they do need to get themselves to lane with the double global. Blue team can catch up on the XP very quickly here, as 5 members for 1 kill might not be worth it, actually.
Yeah, we got to start thinking about these bosses, too. We haven't looked at them yet. We just passed the 5-minute mark as they spawn. But I think they're going to end up being a big point of this game. Whoever's going to get more of them ends up getting the win. And with a hero like Falstead for the Tainted Orphans, with that Gust, it could be the difference maker later on, so Retro might be a bit scared as this game progresses to start working on their own bosses.
I think you're definitely right. That it's such a threat at all times. Yarel here in the top lane, dueling with the Haka, trying to get these siege camps down so she can make it to her team. It's a 4v4, but could turn it into a 5v4 very quickly. Zamibar stepping up and dropping quite low. Force uses Indomitable to get out. Orphea finding some return damage, stunned on the bridge to death, but he will be able to dwarf toss away. Zamibar is falling down to 300 health. Both tanks very chunked here, but Dahaka shows his face. Yarel rushing down as fast as she can.
I don't know if you saw that Dahaka coming in was about to land the drag, but Indomitable popped, or maybe it was the cleanse actually, from Rhaegar that kept Zamibars alive and not in the grasp of that Dahaka drag. Unbelievable staying alive there with Zamibars.
Yeah, you know what? ReGen Retro, Dahaka was a big problem for them in game number 1, but here in game number 2, where Dahaka's global is even more impactful possibly, Dahaka's actually not found that value. His 2 curses are now in favor.
Yeah, almost level 10 too. You see how close there it is for ReGen Retro, and just seconds away for the Tainted Orphans as well. Let's see what some of these heroes are thinking. Will be the ancestral healing from Rhaegar, not the Bloodlust this time. We do see Avatar Curse Bullet. There's the Mighty Gust and the Isolation pick from Dahaka. And it's not the Crushing Jaws. It will be Eternal Feast out of Orphea.
Very interesting. They're thinking they have the lockdown with the Warlord's Challenge here to keep them in place for long enough to get that feast, get their feast on.
Well, Retro not under a lot of pressure here in terms of tributes. Going to have enough time to clear out this Bruiser camp at mid. up near the tribute now. We do see Urel nearby. Falset starting the channel, and Aaron threatening with the interrupt. Will to Live will back on off of that channel.
Zamibar stepping up, throwing Muradin back. 5 demonstrated here on top for both of these teams. But Bruiser Camp in the mid, Siege Camp at the bottom. These teams, I guess they're both willing to stall this out, but blue team needs to get this curse at the end of the day.
I think the Bruiser Camp at mid's already been weakened, though. Dahaka, not a lot of essence, gonna pop into that burrow as the Eternal Feast comes out at the same time as the barrier. A couple heroics used, no kills yet.
Yeah. Rhaegar healing, getting these 2% per second for everyone who's in that red circle. Oh, big stun from Garrosh. Rich Dress dropping very low. Urel forced to pop her ultimate ability. Oh, as trading kills, Orphea falls, and so does Lucio. Blue team looking so low. Can they find that kill onto Muradin? They cannot, but it looks like this channel will go to Voltanian, and this is Curse Point.
That's
it's
a
Siege
curse.
Camp. Yeah,
Siege Camp's
Siege Camp
still
at the
up.
bottom.
Look at this. A lot of health, too. Someone's going to have to play defense here. Falset's still dead for 8 seconds. Going to mean this fort will fall.
Oh, wow.
And they're working on mid right now. Tower down, wall down, working on that second one here.
Yep. Even with Orphea falling here, they're going to find a ton of value. 1 fort already. Greymane and Muradin trying to hold mid, but they're going to rotate top. And grab their second fort, probably. Yep, the whole team wants to make sure they confirm this.
I think they end up turning this into a boss play. 30 seconds left. Starting to make the move back as Garrosh. There they go. Yeah, they want this boss right now.
Yeah, it's true.
They got heroes showing in the bottom lane, clearing out that siege camp. They had to. Lucio's so far away. He can't get here in time. And Falstead, unless he wants to burn that flight and go for a risky gust, should be the first boss of the game over to ReGen Retro.
Yeah. I think if I'm inted Orphans, I'm calling boss right now, getting their own, making sure they take the double boss play off the table for ReGen Retro.
That's exactly what they're doing. They have the Greymane. He's a very fast clearer. You also have this Falstead with a little bit of extra lightning from
it's gonna be close.
From the bribe. Oh, they're here.
ReGen Retro is here. Gust is available.
There's the Gust. Here's the Brush Stalk in from Dahaka. Can you get in here in time? No. Eternal Feast is out. Ancestral Heal coming down too. And this Feast is still going. Trying to pick up more kills. It finally expires. Another healing totem down. Going to try to keep some heroes alive for just a little bit. There's the Valkyrie pulling back at target. It is Greymane down. Double kill for ReGen Retro. Should be able to clear out the boss, but they might just leave it. Go for another keep wall.
Yeah, they have boss pushing on keep wall. They have a catapult and a minion wave on the bottom. They're gonna take one or the other.
Yeah, they want this wall in the bottom lane. I think their fort's gonna be just fine with that boss pushing in. And they do see that boss being cleared out in the top lane, so this is pretty wide open to at least grab some value here on these structures. And getting through walls in 2 different keep lanes is gonna be a nice little advantage here for ReGen Retro.
Yeah, they can back off here with the vision that's provided from these lanes and set up for this next curse. Falstead flying for a cheeky bribe play. I like this.
4 stacks.
Yeah.
Nice steal from Will to Live. That'll, of course, buff up his lightning as well.
And it will distract at least 2 heroes from the red team as they work to clear this off their keep wall.
So let's slow down a bit here, Stoic. What have we seen already, and what is there to expect in terms of a potential comeback here from Tainted Orphans? What do they need to do to change the outlook of this one?
Okay, so things aren't dire for them. They still have all their keeps. They even have 1 fort in the middle lane. They also have 2 globals who can easily soak those top and bottom lanes and then be present at a team fight if needed. And it's 0-0 on curses. They're just looking for a team fight before the red team gets to 16. And they're looking for it right here as Lucio's going to get some scouting information. Dahaka can say that Urel is top. This is a 4v4 with Dahaka the ability to zone and be there in just a moment.
Well, top lane has a camp pushing for the Tainted Orphans. Bottom lane has a camp and catapult pushing for ReGen Retro. Here comes the Eternal Feast. Nice ancestral heal that time inside the taunt. But they don't get a kill because Lucio's got the barrier to save the day. Big Valkyrie gonna pull back Muradin, and that'll be a kill for ReGen Retro. Still chasing in with the fend is Cassia. bottom lane has to be responded to by Greymane, and Dahaka was never able to show up in that fight at all.
Yeah, they did it without Urel. Now with a 16 talent here, they're looking to push onto this probably bottom keep. As Greymane is so low, he can't continue to fight here.
He needs to be careful. Cassia's coming in. She's looking for the kill. Still mounted up, finally off. Not quite in range to find these targets, but zoning away to set up the first keep of the game down. ReGen Retro definitely gonna be able to get this one. And they got level 16 talent, Stoic.
Yeah, you know, this is just heard the core call out from the announcer here. Quite in a scary position. You know, Cassia, Orphea, both with almost 40,000 to damage. That's so much. Just so hard for Lucio to keep up with that kind of damage coming out of these two heroes.
They're going to start putting pressure in the mid lane. Good toss there onto Murden. Taunted during that dwarf toss. There's the Eternal Feast. Gus coming out from Falstad, going to keep Bridge to death alive. The fort's going to fall as Retro continues their pressure around this map.
Yeah, you know, these globals are they have their work cut out for them. They need to soak up. They now have 16. They need to push these lanes back a little bit. Oh man, don't check the bush, Dahaka.
Oh, Dahaka does check the bush. Gonna have the tunneling claws to try to get away. His variation still able to move away. Has that enhanced agility at level 1. Now stacked up to 8 as this fight continues. Pops some essence. There's the barrier from Lucio keeping everyone alive, but Splash, the one who's low, gets the ancestral. It's Garrosh who goes down without it.
You know what? If you're a Tainted Orphans fan, Dahaka check this bush because this fight is now going in favor of the. It's tied up.
Oh no, Eternal Feast! Dahaka inside of it will end up falling. Urel's gonna go down. Didn't have that heroic available. Now Melly the next to fall on Orphea as Cassia trying to continue. We've seen Splash play this before. Big money plays with the Cassia late in games, but I don't think he gets out of this one. Lucio providing too much healing as Altanian trying to get away will not be able to. A quad kill for the Tainted Orphans, and their first tribute of the game is available.
Yeah, Falstad just pecked those heroes all to death. Excellent work here. We'll be able to fly down to the bottom, clear this lane. Dahaka will be back in 11 seconds. This is what they need to do. They need to grab this and then another. The comeback is possible. They're not. Their core is still at 100%. A curse could change this whole game.
One apiece now as we are looking at who will get the second curse of the game. Another Bruiser Camp spawning here nearby for the Tainted Orphans. Seeing them grab this a couple times, but they want their boss first. And on the top side of the map, Garrosh waiting by the ReGen Retro boss, but needs a bit of damage to join him.
Oh man.
Already down to 50%. So quick is this Greymane. Rayvar completely assaulting this thing.
Oh wow, yeah, you know, Greymane picking up that Alpha Killer at 16, gonna allow him to do a lot of damage in this Worgen form to heroes, and they're running. The train is going. Boss is at 25% health. They're not gonna make it in time. But they could zone to make sure they get this next trip.
They're gonna have to be careful. Their top lane keep could end up falling here. Now Bruiser Camp available for Retro as well for the mid lane. Will be a bit more pressure for them as the boss in the bottom lane already down to 75% health. This Catapult doing a bit of work in helping get that health bar down. Let's follow the tribute action here at mid. Already set up are the Tainted Orphans.
Yeah, Bridge of Death a little bit separated from his team. Needs to get back. Falstad not with the team, but gonna fly down. Curse of Bullet. Splash drops very low here.
Oh, Orphea last second interrupt on that tribute.
Oof. Tense moment here as Falstad is still clearing this boss top lane.
They have to give it up. Altanian's gonna get the free channel. They were so close on that channel and barely missed it. Does that end up costing them later on? We'll see. Boss still in the bottom lane. It's low, but it got through a Teep wall. Let's follow the action here still around this Bruiser Camp as Retro's trying to steal it away.
Falstad needs to fly in. Gross, man. Boss route. Falstad unable to join his team there. Boss finds the top keep, and the camp is stolen. Orphan's in a little bit of a weird spot here where they have to try and do a couple of things at once as this camp is... The next curse is going to spawn in this top lane.
No level 20s yet, but they just now are clicking in for ReGen Retro. Let's take a look at a couple of these. Will be the Titanic Might from Garrosh. There's the Farseer's Blessing from Rhaegar. This is the one I was hoping to see.
double spell shield here is doing so much damage reduction as this middle keep is dropping very, very low. The final structure for the Tainted Orphans, Mighty Gust pushes them all the way, but without the level 20s, that means that there's no wind tunnel for the next possibly 50 seconds.
Retro backing up, knowing this tribute is active in 3 seconds. If they get it, could be the end of the game. Mid keeps so low as Melly starting the channel. Garrosh has to get some stuns, gets the first one. And that's all they're gonna need. They get the tribute. Can they continue from here? Double isolation, gonna connect on a couple of heroes. It's Garrosh going down because look at the raid guard. He had the isolation on his head. He wasn't able to pop that ancestral, but here it comes now. There's one, there's two. They're standing in it. A big group heal gonna keep Retro alive, and they get the kill on Muradin.
That level 20 value there, so strong. Oltanian dropping low though, so is Wolfman. Both healers, 300 health right now. Yorel chasing these final kills. Splash looking for that last bit of damage here on a Lucio. But you know what here? Falstad stuck on on clear duty. Blue team just needs to make sure they don't die and they'll have another chance.
Now, I don't think Retro can win here. Now with this wind tunnel coming out onto Cassia, she's got to be careful. Cursed Bullet, can it connect? Yes, it will. And Greymane gets a nice, easy kill onto Cassia. That should reduce any sort of attempt to finish this one out.
It's going to be hard, but the Tainted Orphans have clawed their way back into this, defended after 6 curses and 6 points, 6 tributes and 2 curses. They're still on the map. They're still here. Curse with 100%, or core with 100% health.
Checking out boss timers, a minute 40 up top. Down low, it'll be a minute 25. Either one for Retro could be the game for them as they've gotten all the keeps down. And a lot of catapult pressure. It's going to start being a lot of trouble for the Global to have to deal with and remain in these team fights. And as long as ReGen Retro is willing to stick as 5, that is a tough pill to swallow for the Tainted Orphans. Do they defend the lanes or do they take the team fights?
You know, their one saving grace here is that they do have the 2 globals, so that they can kind of try and play the both at the same time. If they didn't have both Falstad and the Hawk, I think this would be very, very hard for them to come back.
Well, look at who has the XP lead. We'll take a quick look at the XP totals. Falstad and Greymane leading the way. Dahaka not too far behind. And just the Yorel for ReGen Retro leading all heroes right now at 17,000 XP.
Yeah. Not much to do as these two teams are respecting each other and not wanting to fight unless there's something that is necessary for it. Curse advantage goes slightly in favor of Tainted Orphans with 1 already picked up.
I think Retro just knows they have to play for this boss. They're sticking nearby, making sure no one's coming around here. I think it's about 30 seconds away. Make it 15 seconds now. Bottom boss should be spawning right now. There it is.
With that boss spawning, Retro's they're making a move. They've shown they're back on the map.
They're going back to their boss.
Yep, they just kind of scare them off. Tainted Orphans need to get on their boss right away. Falstad using those stacks of bribe to get this bruiser camp, to get some counter push, but...
Oh, Falstad's flying up. I think he knows he has to make a play here. Here he comes. Lucio nearby as well. Has the wind tunnel. Someone's got to be able to stand through this mighty gust. Here it comes. The big play's coming out. Big Eternal Feast on the point. Can anyone pick up the boss? So far, no. Ancestral Heal coming out, and it's getting all the value ReGen Retro needs. They get the kill on Falstad. They get the boss, and they're looking to close out game number 2. Can they chase down Muradin? Looks like they will be able to. Big mace from Yorel. Another toss coming out from Garrosh. Muradin is down. A double kill for ReGen Retro with the boss on the map. Can they close it from here, Stoic?
Oh, I think so. This is, don't go the curse, just go right for the core. Summer Anthem from Lucio getting some good value, but not able to stand through so much damage over time there. His Orpheus Eternal Feast is going to close out this game as the ReGen Retro walks to the core and starts just pushing their button.
Farseer's Blessing, dude. Oh my god. So much value.
So much value, those big old heals.
Taunt into the Eternal Feast, picking up yet another one. Raybar trying to do what he can to finish us off, but will not be able to find the kill. Game number 2 is going to tie up the series. This one's handed over to ReGen Retro.
Yeah. Wow. You know, both of these games have been heavy I felt very one-sided with one team really dominating, coming out with a large kill advantage. I thought Tainted Orphans could come back for a moment there, but ReGen Retro said, "Nah, we were just stretching."
Well, let's take a look at our match summary brought to you by Nexus Gaming Series. The double global not quite able to secure the Game 2 victory for the Tainted Orphans. This was a best of 5, but now it's going to turn to a best of 3 from here. Stoic, who's your game number 2 MVP?
A
tricky question.
It is a tricky question. Garrosh had lots of good throw and engage there. Rhaegar had some clutch heals. Cassia had a lot of damage in that early game. Yrel had a lot of good displacement. Although maybe we just give it to Orphea for just tons of damage, topping the kill charts. Maybe that's who we give it to.
Yeah, either that or the Rhaegar able to land those big ancestral heals in the late game with that level 20 upgrade. I thought it worked out for them. And really good presence of mind coming out from ReGen Retro to make sure they're standing nearby that target to get the area heal as well. So that'll bring us into a game number 3. The set has been reset. And we'll be back in about 2 minutes as we help these captains set it up. Here's another word from our overlords. Welcome back. We're about to be ready to head on into game number 3. Stoic, what are your thoughts after game 2?
You know, I saw that Dahaka again, coupled with the fall stat coming out from Tainted Orphans, and thought, you know, this is going to be really tough for ReGen Retro to be able to keep up with that macro pressure. What do you think, like, in your mind, Murder, when you watch that early game, what led to those early curses, or those early tributes, going in favor of ReGen Retro?
For me, I think it was just the macro play overall was just outstanding, and the poke with the Cassia and the Orphea was just too much to handle. Murden wasn't ever quite able to get on that back line. Yrel providing enough, bodying around with that mace, pushing heroes away, and no one else was able to really chase in with the Muradin. So as long as Greymane's contained like that with the Yrel, I think it's going to work out for ReGen Retro moving forward. We do have our lobby here, it looks like.
PRR.
Infernal Shrines.
Infernal Shrines. Interesting. Global's not as relevant here. ReGen Retro, last time they played this, round 5 against Tainted Orphans, ReGen Retro took this.
I did say that whoever's getting more bosses is going to end up winning the game, and in fact, that was the case. One extra boss for ReGen Retro was the difference maker.
50% more bosses.
50% more.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Oh, I took marketing. I know how to speak. It's 50% more.
Yeah, it sounds like so much more. It's just one, but it's actually 50%. You're right. Chat saying they thought Melly was the MVP there in game number 2. Hard to disagree that Orphea ended up working out. Will there be a bit of a change up here? We saw the Tassadar game 1 for Melly. Game 2 was that Orphea. And overall draft strategy, do they move away from the global here? Do they stop thinking about the Dahaka as we move into Infernal Shrines?
Yeah, I think that a hero that is able to do a double soak would come in stronger than a global. I mean, global could definitely work, as teams often have one top, 4 mid bot. But the ability to have an offlaner that can get top, but then also rotate to the mid and go back up without missing a wave of soak, a Malthael, a Leoric, is somebody who can come in really strong here. Really strong. Double soaking not a necessity, but I think we'd see a double soaker before we saw a global.
Looks like we have a slight pause. Oh no, we're ready to go. Zammy was saying needed 1 second, but looks like we are starting up game number 3. It's going to be Infernal Shrines. Very popular NGS map. I was expecting to see it tonight. Didn't know when, but no time better than the present, Stoic.
Yeah, Infernal Shrines, the map we've seen Mephisto played on quite a lot. Mephisto, haven't seen so far yet, and also received some nerfs in the last patch. Will we see him tonight?
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
So we've seen a couple bans already from the Tainted Orphans onto Johanna in games 1 and 2. I'm expecting them to continue that ban streak here in game 3 as well. So strong on Infernal Shrines.
Yeah, I think you're right. Maybe they take her. Maybe they decide not to ban Johanna in the hopes that they will get Johanna. Cassia ban. I think that is very warranted, as she is such a strong hero, even with slight nerfs to her basic attack build and her baseline.
Yeah, Valkyrie helping pick up some extended kills in some of those fights where it seemed like they're about to get away. It's like, nope, get back here. Like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, that Valkyrie was just like, get over here. Yep,
that's I said that in my head a couple of times.
I think we all say that in our heads.
Yeah, Johanna banned. ReGen Retro played it last time, but they don't want such a strong tank in the hands of Tainted Orphans.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Look at that. Banning out both of the heroes from Game 2, both Cassia and Orphea, taken away by the Tainted Orphans.
I mean, well deserved. I mean, those two heroes, so strong, and both played very well. Retro's in an interesting spot. Lots of things that they could ban. Lots of strong heroes still available.
Yeah, and they're going to take away the ETC was played against them in game number 1, gave them a bit of trouble. Maybe they liked what they saw against the Muradin a bit better. So I can't blame them. They dominated the front line in game 2 and maybe struggled a bit in game number 1. Variations will move off the Dahaka, now onto the Yrel, going to steal that away from Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron played it very well. Also a good denial. I mean, Yrel is such a strong hero. Does this allow Aaron, though, to just sit back and pick the perfect counter?
Perhaps, but what's a great counter to Yrel?
I don't know. Malthael. There's very few. She's so strong. Space Goat, so strong.
They're going to find El Jefe again here in game number 2. Garrosh selected once again by Zammy Bars, and look at Melly back on the Tassadar, just as we saw in game number 1.
Yeah, strong mage. So much value here. I mean, lots of places you can go. Yrel fits into pretty much any draft. Able to double soak if she needs. Able to just jump in a backline and destroy. Ooh.
Okay.
Junkrat picked up by Will to Live. Worked very well in game number 1. Wanting that trap build probably here, or maybe just some more boom boom. And Hanzo as well.
Yeah, and they're going to have this Hanzo level 16 talent pickup with the scatter arrow build. Once it starts ripping through multiple targets at the same time, that's a lot of damage. It's a lot of wave clear in the shrine for Hanzo as well. It's going to be great zone control setup once again. Probably expecting that trap build from Junkrat, as we saw in game number 1. There's the ban onto a Nubarak, trying to push the Tainted Orphans back onto that Muradin.
Yeah. But you know what? Like, there's so much poke here. I mean, Junkrat and Hanzo have just incredible range with their abilities. It'll be hard for Garrosh to find a strong engage. Maybe Muradin is the play. Anyone who steps up just gets a Storm Bolt, and the Hanzo and Junkrat take a step back and continue to poke.
3 games in a row, we're going to see Ana banned out in this 3rd slot by TO. Gonna send it back over to ReGen Retro, about to pick their heroes number 3 and 4. Without that support option, do they switch it up? Game 2, it was the Rhaegar. Here's the Sonya for Aaron, and Stukov for Altanian.
Interesting. Stukov very good here, as the silence is so strong, and then a possible roots and slows on top of that make it a very scary place to be standing when a Tacidar's close by. Splash holding that sustained damage pick to the last spot. Going to see what Bridge to Death wants to play for tank, and Waffleman wants for heals.
Deckard Cain, another fantastic hero on Infernal Shrines, gonna be able to set up early with those potions, and Diablo recently receiving a bit of a buff. We'll see what Bridge to Death has to say about this hero.
Yeah. Cooldown reduced on both Shadow Charge and Overpower. Lots of walls here. Every objective is surrounded by walls. Maybe Diablo's the play. If Sonya tries to get close, Diablo can flip and push and...
Greymane's still out there. It's going to be Raynor, though. All right. I'm about to open up our 3rd poll of the night. You guys have been split in both games 1 and 2. You can't make up your mind, so I got to ask you again, who will win game 3? Will it be the Tainted Orphans, or will it be ReGen Retro? Head on over to the chat up at the top. Select the team you would like to see win this game number 3. And be sure to hit that submit button. Your votes will be tallied live on screen. Stoic, who do you have picked here in Infernal Shrines?
I gotta give it to... I think I give it to the Tainted Orphans here. I think that Garrosh is gonna... If he tries to look for an engage, he's gonna eat a face full of bombs and a face full of Hanzo arrows.
And no cleanse. They got the Stukov. No cleanse. So it's just that Indomitable by Garrosh to keep himself sustained through any sort of CC.
Yeah, and if he somehow does decide to continue walking through all of that damage, he's got the Yrel smack, he's got the Diablo push. I think Tainted Orphans have a comp that's able to race a shrine and also punish a team who tries to step up.
Well, welcome to game number 3. Here on the right-hand side, we got Splash playing the Raynor, Altanian on Stukov, Melly on the Tassadar, Zambibar's playing that Garrosh again, and Aaron on the Sonya. Give it up for your game 2 winners, ReGen Retro.
The battle begins.
And on the left side in the blue trunks, we have Waffleman playing Deckard. We have variations now on Yrel, Rhaegar on Hanzo, Will to Live back on Junkrat, and Bridge to Death playing Diablo. It is the Tainted Orphans.
They're talking about the Pato mount.
That's
this,
so creepy.
Punching chicken. It's actually a really good mount. I like it.
It's also kind of...
I'm surprised we haven't seen more Thrallr Bills coming out, because I think that's maybe the coolest mount that's come out in a while.
It is a very flexy mount. The new Money Pig.
The new Money Pig, even better than the Money Pig. There's a wall from Tassadar going to keep Yrel at bay for a moment, but she's going to be just fine. No kills yet in the early portion. We saw one come out quick in game 2 for ReGen Retro, and they didn't let off the gas then. Can they find something similar here in game 3?
Hanzo picking up that target practice level 1, not the W build, looking for that increased range on that Stormbow.
Looks like our poll has completed, and finally chat with a little bit of confidence, 100% going over to ReGen Retro this time.
ReGen Retro fans in the house. Hanzo, with that target practice build at 1, forced to make sure he gets these Stormbows off on every hero. Doing a little bit of chasing here onto Aaron.
Yeah, just looking for stacks, right? It's got to get him early.
I love it. He's just looking for stacks, wants to make sure that he doesn't have to think about the solo lane after getting those hits under Yrel.
Yeah, but seeing that Hanzo in the top lane, look at this for Retro. They know exactly they have this advantage, and they go ahead and take advantage of it. Stealing away this neutral camp in the bottom lane, going to help set them up for some sieging.
Yeah, a smart play. And the wave, the early game wave clear for the blue team is not the greatest here.
Wall down, Diablo on the wrong side of it. Bridge to death, trying to charge away. Might be first blood, and it will be. ReGen Retro on the board. That one belongs to Splash on the Rainer.
Yeah, siege camp in the down here. Junkrat forced to mine over the wall. Bottom tower's gonna fall.
Yeah, nice work by these goats. Gonna get some value early. Might even get the wall as well. There goes a wall from Tassadar. A wall for wall. But I think ReGen will definitely be happy with that one.
Yeah, Kozra value. Any objective won by ReGen in the bottom lane with no wall for the Punisher to jump through.
Will be reactive Ballista Spores at level 1. I wasn't sure if they're going to go with the additional slows with Stukov at 1, but instead will be that. Pairing in a bit differently instead of Ace in the Hole from Raynor. Has that Exterminator here on Infernal Shrines to help get them some additional wave clear inside the shrine. So I think that's going to make some sense.
And in case they lose it, they can shoot the biggie John Cena.
Arcane Punisher will be first here in the mid lane. Retro going to get to work first. But they have Sonya showing in the bottom lane, going to make this rotation up. Trying to get closer to level 7 before they get really going inside this pit, but I don't think they're going to quite make it in time.
Yeah, neither team probably going to make it there. Yrel looking for a jump here. Root finds the Garrosh. Will zone him out completely here. Both of these teams still under 20. This could go either way. Sonya looking for a flank. Ravar very low on mana as Will to Live is getting low on health. Well,
yeah, Retro's going to have to make a move. Deckard Cain providing way too much value with these Scrolls of Sealing all throughout this zoning spot that Retro's at, and these concussion mines knocking hero after hero away. As they're going to finally make the move in, tied up, very close though, around 30 apiece for these teams.
Yeah. Well, they're going to zone Diablo from the team, but now 35 to 32. This is getting very close. Variations finds a big jump on it. 4, 1 left to go with a 15 lead. ReGen Retro actually does not end up completing this Arcane Punisher as it goes in favor of Tainted Orphans.
Yeah, they had Sonya in the bottom lane pushing in with that wave. Going to get some damage onto the fort. As they now try to make the defense at mid. Going to bait it over the wall as Zammy Bar is not going to be locking that Scroll of Sealing. Look at those rubies down from Deckard Cain, but, Deckard Cain, he's on the other team. Not going to help fill up a Garrosh.
Garrosh looking longingly at all of that healing that will just go to waste. Yeah, so first objective gets a little bit of damage onto a lot of different things. Not super impactful here.
Scouting is down from that Sonic Arrow from Hanzo, trying to interrupt the push onto this, but they can't because look at Diablo charging in. Indomitable pop by Garrosh will be able to get him away, barely surviving through that invade attempt. ReGen Retro do pick up their camp, now going to maybe make the rotation down towards this neutral camp in the bottom lane yet again.
Garrosh half health to begin this fight with means 30 armor, but still able to be popped here as Hanzo is continuing to poke. Providing good zoning. Again, those rubies not going to help out Garrosh.
Concussion mine down, trap set as well from Junkrat. Here's the flip onto Garrosh. Camp getting very low. Deckard Cain standing nearby on top of it. Another trap going to connect onto Garrosh, and the roots from Deckard Cain. First kill of the game for the Tainted Orphans, looking for more.
Yeah, ties this up. Bridge to death now in a very weird spot with Raynor just getting damaged and Tassadar through the wall. Oh, but Splash with a little bit of an indecision.
Concussion Mine gets the kill.
Concussion Mine, level 1 valued.
Sonya's been pushing up top this whole time. Aaron trying to get this wave onto the wall. Yrel starting to double soak. It's going to give the Tainted Orphans maybe level 10 a bit sooner. But with Garrosh back on the map, it should be about even as we roll on through to level 10 here.
Picked up just a moment before for ReGen Retro as they pick up standard picks all throughout, except for maybe possibly Raider picked up, not the Hyperion, looking for that more single target poke damage.
Siege Camp's going to start pressuring closer to the wall of ReGen Retro here in the mid lane. Now maybe setting their eyes to move up on top of Sonya, but Aaron playing safe at the wall, maybe sensing that a rotation was coming.
You know, Tainted Orphans have a pretty strong wombo possibility here in Riptire, APOC, Arrow, and Stay a While and Listen. See if they can
Hanzo
get
taunted. Stay a while and listen. APOC combo behind it. Riptire to follow as well. Stukov is down. And I think they were waiting for that the whole time. They set up Hanzo as a bait and Deckard Cain walking in. Gotta credit Waffle Man with that one. Well played by Deckard Cain.
Old man has got some tricks up his sleeve.
And Taco, I'd be remiss if I don't call him Deckard Payne after that one, because he definitely helped bring it that time.
Deckard Cain with more damage than Yrel and Diablo. Fear him.
Shrine number 2 is active in the top lane. Looks like Retro willing to give this one up. They want to find the fort in the bottom. And with Raynor here in this Exterminator, they will quickly make service of that. Now going to start moving up towards the top as their Bruiser Camp was maybe being threatened. Instead, going to rotate up with their own Bruiser Camp are the Tainted Orphans, trying to get some value onto this wall.
Yeah. Zamivar's here going to step up. Hanzo's not careful. Oh, Bridge of Death with a good peel there, but tossed in. Will they have enough damage as the taunt goes out? The root from Deckard Cain, and there's so many rubies on the ground.
Oh,
Bridge
the
Death
ruby value that time was enough. Oh my
Really be
god.
able to make out of big sleep. No combo to follow this up as Hanzo still holding on to that arrow. APOC 10 seconds out. Junkrat using this, whatever it's called, the Riptire to zone a little bit here. Ocanian dropping low. Arrow is out and hits 3. Yrel jumps in, finds a big stun on the Garrosh, as well as Stukov dies to Diablo. Aaron getting so much healing. Oh, with the edge, caught on a root, smacked back into the team and taken out by a Hanzo Stormbow.
Yeah, this is going to be the second Punisher of the game, and maybe more kills. And now Tassadar is in a lot of trouble. Melly trying to get away, drops the wall. Won't be enough. This Diablo with full souls and all those rubies in that fight really making a difference for the Tainted Orphans. Now up 7-1 in kills, and they're about to get their first fort of the game down with this Punisher coming. It's a Mortar Punisher, and they're going to steal away a Bruiser Camp on top of it.
Yeah, and I think that the Bruiser Camp and Mortar Punisher are going to dish a lot of damage. No structure disable like a Frozen Punisher, but it's a lot of things to bring onto this keep wall. They should be looking to see how much value they can get with an 84% healthy Punisher.
Garrosh going to try to bait it again. Here it comes over the wall, already down to 65% health. Retro having to back up because these scrolls of sealing from Deckard Cain providing so much value. Wall is down. The second turret about to fall as well, but the Punisher, it's down, and that should end the push from the Tainted Orphans, but they got a lot of value in this top lane.
Yeah, you're so right. Look at those rubies, though. Diablo saw those rubies, wanted it so bad. Oh, Sonya, a little bit of a gank here. She's spinning to win. Will she make it out to this wall? Arrow just barely misses. Aaron does a great job dodging and will earn the right to live.
The right to live. We got Will to live playing the Junkrat. And Sonya with the right to live. This could be a risky spot. 7-1 on kills. Can they find the kill?
Hanzo dropping that Sonic Arrow just in time. Diablo pops the APOC. Follow up from
behind
Deckard
it. Oh, Splash taking so much, but still alive is the Raynor.
Stukov flailing swipe keeps him alive, but Sonya's the one actually to fall here. Rubies and Deckard Cain with so much value. Zamivar stunned against the wall. Tassadar looking for that zoning. Finds the wall. Bridge of Death trapped between a rock and a hard place. Zamivar's though now rooted as Bridge of Death walks back up to get that Malevolence value. Woo! Woo. Red team
Somehow made it out.
Yeah, red team split, not punished here. And so much healing coming out from Deckard Cain during these team fights.
Oh my god. Diablo gets to like 30% health. Steps on like 17 little ruby potions. He's like, I'm good. Let's keep going.
Yeah, you know, Ruby is just so valuable. Even if Ruby only hits one, each of those potions healing for 450. That's 1,200. That's 1,350 healing just right away. And when it hits 6 or 5 heroes, I mean, Diablo lives forever.
Yeah, 6,582 health. for Diablo. It's hard to kill him. You don't have any good deal of percentage damage. How do you deal with that Diablo?
You know, Raynor picked up Giddy Up at level 13. Possibly maybe he takes the percent damage at 16?
Well, they're down by 2 levels right now. Have to play catch up with Sonya pretty deep in this top lane. Is going to have to be careful, making sure no one's going to rotate on top. And all they have in terms of outer forces is mid lane. But it's under pressure, and there's a couple of heroes maybe ready to come on in.
Yeah. Arrow goes out, finds Raynor as Diablo finds the perfect combo to flip him back into the APOC, and he is exploded by the Riptire there. Stopping pops from Sammy Bars, but wow, great Stukov flailing swipe to keep the whole team safe. Sonya spinning to provide some zoning for her team, but she's rooted on the corner. Variation taking tower shots, but able to pop that. What's the amp?
Ardent Defender.
Ardent Defender. Yep, there you go.
You got it.
And as I flailed, I forgot. Good job. Red team able to disengage and escape out.
Well, they take the fight with level 16 talents. That's the difference maker. Now look at level 16.
Yeah.
Will be piercing arrows for Hanzo. And this is the big playmaker talent that he takes on Infernal Shrines. It's going to be very tough for Retro to contest inside these shrines at all, especially when you continue seeing this trap build coming out from Junkrat. So much zoning being provided by almost every single hero in this composition.
All of them have some kind of either displacement or stun, either in their heroics. Oh, Raynor there, caught, flipped. Bridgedeath very deep here. Will he find that Ruby value, though? Big combo possibility here. Zanzibar stepping up. Variations not the one dropping low. Great zoning from the Stukov as Yorel is actually the one to fall here.
Yeah, and they're going to continue trying to press in, looking for more Diablo, the one hero you got to worry about. But now the Punisher on the map. Here comes the Riptire. Zammy Bars falling pretty low. Aaron on the backside going to miss a spear, so he's not going to have a lot of generation to continue spinning at all. Has to run away. Garrosh now under a lot of pressure. He's not going to get out of here, is he? I don't think he does. Getting one heal from Stukov, still staying in there a bit longer. Punisher jumping on the back line. They just can't get in the fight.
Garrosh surviving so long thanks to that new talent, Seasoned Soldier, at level 16, but ultimately does fall. That Punisher MVP in that fight getting a huge root for both zoning and the lockdown.
Baited over the wall by Tastar. Here comes the charge in with the APOC, and Melly is down. Stukov going to be rooted by the Punisher, and Altanian's going to fall as well. Another double kill for the Tainted Orphans, looking to pick up the first keep of the game. It's going to be shut down by this Frozen Punisher as they pressure on in with a 2-level lead, up 12-2 in kills.
You know what? This Diablo play, I have to go watch this again. This has been absolutely incredible. The snap shadow charge to the overpowers into the Napoc is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, game 2 maybe Muradin didn't work out, but Diablo, a completely different story here in game number 3. Bridge to Death looking really good. I don't know what the answer is. They do end up going with Paint Them Red at level 16 on the Raynor. So no percent damage. I just don't see how you deal with this Diablo at all.
It's true, especially when there's without any healing reduction from... Right? Nothing on their team reduces healing either. He just gets healing when he does his stuff and healing when he's getting rubies, and big old scary monster never dies.
Retro having to make a play before level 20 on the other side. Here they come. Zammy trying to walk in, misses the first Groundbreaker. Variation's a bit split from the team, but going to use that mace to keep them back from this camp. Concussion Mine is on the point, so Retro's got to keep that in mind if they want to make a play to pick this one up. Aaron's going to pressure in, Whirlwinding. There's all those rubies and Bridge of Death, drinking them all up. Here's the APOC. Big follow-up as well with that Dragon's Arrow from Hanzo. Bridge of Death so low and will finally fall. Is that the break that Retro needs, getting those souls off of Diablo?
Yeah, your rail escaping here. Variations runs away out. No ults available for the blue team. I think swipe available for Stukov, but they're gonna concede.
Look at mid. They gotta defend this mid keep.
Oh, that's true. That is a ton of Khazras and catapults here. Excellent snap decision making there as a team to go clear that to make sure that they don't take any more keep damage, as they did lose their bottom keep. Oof. Scary time. They also need to find. They also need to find 20. They need to soak a whole level and a half to get caught up to that level 20 talent tier. 14 Orphans is able to get this mid this next objective mid.
They do save the mid keep, but now under pressure in the top lane. Bruiser Camp pushing in with 1 catapult. Retro's here with 5 heroes trying to make a defense. Good wave clear from Tastar, taking care of the wave. As the scroll of ceiling will hit onto Garrosh. Wall dropped by Tastar to make sure Diablo does not come in that time. Still a level behind on getting to 20. Just, well, they're still 18 right now, but moments away from 19. That could be all the difference that matters, as this next Punisher is about to activate in 13 seconds.
Yeah, and you know what? If Junkrat can get set up, if Deckard can get set up, they want to say, look, let us sit here. We're going to get perfectly ready to go. And what are you going to do to stop us?
I don't think there is a stopping point.
Yeah. Hanzo's going to get those exploding arrows from the Stormbow, as well as the piercing shot here. Quickly clear the first wave of 10. The next 10 spawn, and those will be taken out also in short order.
I think Retro's got to think about trying to just race or something. And that might be what they're looking to do here in this bottom lane, setting up with a wave. They do have 1 catapult. It's going to be too little too late. They will get their level 20s, and it looks like maybe a defense at their keep wall, a siege camp on their way out.
Yeah. But
They
you
don't
know
even
what?
have the wall, rather. They only have the keep.
No, and the siege camp is cleared. It took them, I think the blue team, all of 5 seconds. They'll be able to catch up to John Cena as he's looking to jump here.
No APOC for 30 seconds. There is the leap. Zammy in a bit of trouble. Gets that Indomitable off. There's the Ripfire popped by Junkrat. Looking for the kill on the Stukable. Tanian low. Trying to move away. Already used those swipes under pressure. Avoids to stay along and listen, but ends up falling anyway. The silence is out from Deckard Cain at level 20. And that's going to be a quick double kill for the Tainted Orphans. As Tastar, the one left to make a defense, going to be finished off by the Mortar Punisher. Looks like game number 3 is over. GG's called in chat by the captain, Zammy Bars. And that one is easily going to go over 16-4 in kills in favor of the Tainted Orphans. Now 1 win away from moving on to the Division A Grand Finals.
Wow. You know, these games have been so back and forth. I mean, you know, I'm just going to say that ReGen wins the next one. Just because that's how it's been going. I think we're going to game 5. I'm already calling it.
Already calling it, feeling confident.
Well, I mean, it's just like game 1, really strong from Tainted Orphans. Game 2, really strong from ReGen. Game 3, really strong from Tainted Orphans. I mean, I went to kindergarten. I've seen a pattern before. I know what's coming next.
A marketing expert. Who's your game number 3 MVP after looking at that one?
I think we got to give it to Deckard Cain.
Yeah.
Because while he did do 31,000 hero damage, which is a significant amount, more than Sonya, Garrosh, Diablo, and Stukov, he also healed an incredible amount and left a lot of healing still available, but his team was full and couldn't use it.
Well, here is your talent screen before we go on to our next break of the evening. I want to say a quick thank you to everyone who's here. If you're not already following the channel, hit that follow button while I have your presence with me here. Slap that little heart, show some love. We'll be back in about 2 minutes with game number 4. Welcome back, everybody. The Tainted Orphans are up 2-1 in this best of 5 set as we're heading on into a game number 4 on Towers of Doom. Stoic, the first pick, has won every single game so far. Will that continue, as it looks like ReGen Retro is going to be first to pick here on TOD?
Yeah, it leaves up so many strong heroes available. It allows you to kind of dictate the pace of where things go. What was first picked last map? I don't...
Was the Urel. Urel first pick.
Yeah, Urel had a lot of value there, I think. Able to keep up with Sonya in the double soak, able to have a ton of disruption. Interesting. Any predictions here on a first pick? I don't think it can be Cassia. I don't think it can be...
Well, I think we continue seeing the Johanna and ETC bans.
Towers.
I think that's the one guarantee. If Cassia gets through, that means Tastar is probably banned, and vice versa. I think we'll end up seeing a Tastar ban this time. We haven't seen him banned out all night. He has been picked a couple times though.
Picked a couple times and both
and
by...
lost both times.
Yeah, I think Tastar is 0 for 2 tonight.
0 for 2. Well, Zammy first on the clock, 30 seconds, deciding this Junkrat has been the issue because Junkrat is 2-0 tonight in the hands of Will to Live. I got to agree. Ban out that power play hero. A lot of zoning provided and a lot of kill potential.
Cassia also banned out. It was very scary in game number 2. Are we just going to see a full respect ban phase?
Well, game 3, they banned out the Cassia and the Orphea. Or the Tainted Orphans. Will this be a ban onto either Johanna or ETC? I think it's going to be the ETC if anything. I feel like they are willing to deal with the Johanna, especially on a map like Towers of Doom where she doesn't get quite as much value as some of the other maps. Exactly what I was thinking. ETC is going to be banned out.
Cow is scary. Is this an Orphea ban? Melly was so strong on it. What would they let through? Would they let Johanna through?
It would let the Johanna through.
Both would be totally fine bans in my book.
Okay, Johanna ban.
It is Johanna ban. Double soakers are keying on this map.
Do they go for the early pick Urel, or do they start setting up with the Tastar again? It's the Urel.
Yeah. If they didn't pick it, variations would here. I think it's...
Yeah. I think the Urel makes sense. They saw that Variations was willing to play it in game 3. It worked out for them. Having it on their side, Aaron, a comfortable hero for him. I got to agree.
Yeah, I think this is kind of a situation where, like, you know what? Aaron locked in relatively quickly. I think this is like a, if they give it to us, we'll take Urel. Oh, Abathur here.
And Greymane.
And Greymane.
Okay.
Scary individually and scary together.
So how do they respond? I'm expecting to see the Tyrande here, actually. I think Tyrande can be a good response to this Abathur with that Owl build. Going to keep Will to Live kind of on his feet throughout. And we've seen Altanian play it throughout these playoffs already. Might be another spot to shine here on TOD.
Yeah.
Orphea Garrosh. Okay.
Solid combo that worked for them previously here. Abathur's so strong. We'll see, but, you know, with one less body pre-10, we'll see what kind of advantage that ReGen Retro can gain for themselves, or if they'll just be playing catch-up with, you know, the Abathur's ability to be everywhere at the same time.
4th game in a row, Anna's going to be banned out by the Tainted Orphans. Does ReGen Retro have to ban out the Samuro here? It's so good with Abathur, and almost any hero in the game is going to struggle against that combo. That's kind of what I'm thinking, but they already have the Greymane, so is it too much melee? I mean, Greymane pseudo range, pseudo melee. No ban.
Wow.
No ban. I feel like they must have been thinking about something and just couldn't get it in time.
Yeah, oof.
We may never know what they were thinking there.
And that's a rough one as well. You know, because, like, they know that this is possibly series point. Playoffs is on the line for ReGen Retro here. Maybe they're having a little bit of like, hopefully that was a mistake that they can recover from and that won't lead to any. Huh.
Well, it's going to be Muradin, Dahaka. We already saw these two in game number 2. As well as the Greymane. The only difference here being the Abathur, but the Greymane, Muradin, Dahaka. We saw all 3 of these out of Tainted Orphans in game 2 on Cursed Hollow.
Yeah, so I imagine Dahaka here tries to keep up with Yrel in the double soak. Or maybe Abathur is able to hold one, but I think that's Dahaka's job. Global value here from Dahaka can work, can be at one, and then the other. Ooh, Karazim stolen away. Second time we've seen Karazim this series, and maybe the third time we've seen him in all of NGS Season 9.
Okay, so this is not what I was thinking at all. But it is a way to deal with the Muradin. The 7-sided strikes, if they go that route, can definitely take care of the percentage damage that's needed to finish off a Muradin. And Dahaka, too, he comes out of that burrow, and he's kind of a sitting duck without the tunneling claws later on. Deckard Cain, so good in game number 3 for Waffle Man. Going to be picked up again here in game number 4. Stoic, what are you thinking as we head on into this one?
Quadruple melee, triple frontline is pretty scary. You know, Karazim usually I feel struggles because he's not able to heal those people who are taking the damage, but I mean he can be right up there with him. I gotta give this one to ReGen Retro. I know I was jokingly called it before that this would, I can see a pattern, but I like ReGen Retro's draft here. I think that Tainted Orphans has made it, it's going to be an uphill climb for them. Definitely winnable. They've shown incredible play, but I think they've definitely drafted a comp that's going to make it a lot harder for them to pull this one off.
Well, our poll is open. Be sure to head on over to chat, select the team you want to win, and hit submit as we load on into game number 4. Could be the one they need for the Tainted Orphans. Let's see it on Towers of Doom.
In the blue team on the left, you have Bridge to Death playing the Muradin. Rayvar again back on that Greymane. Will to Live now playing Abathur. Variations back on the Dino Dahaka. And Waffleman playing Deckard. It is Tainted Orphans looking to close the series out.
10 seconds.
And over on the red side, trying to salvage their season, it's Aaron on the Yrel, Splash playing Imperious, Melly on the Orphea, Altanian playing the Karazim, and the captain tonight, Zammy Bars, once again on the Garrosh. Give it up for ReGen Retro.
Aaron picking up here Dauntless again, or Dauntless rather than the Maraud's Insight that we saw in game number 2.
Well, Stoic, we haven't mentioned this yet. The double bruiser setup for ReGen Retro, Yrel, Imperious, and this Garrosh. That's a lot of health on the front line. Is that too many heroes to deal with?
I don't know.
For the Tainted Orphans?
Bridge to Death just falls to all of that, but Garrosh is a return kill for Rayvar. We'll have to see. I mean, it comes down to the way these heroes play. Variations with that Abathur hat dropping quite low. You know, with all of this melee, it allows him to push forward, and like escorts Orphea into where she wants to be, able to hit those chomps.
And Altanian maybe felt too much pressure in game number 3 playing the Stukov. This time on the Karazim, a bit more nimble, able to get in and out with his Q. We'll see if he's able to survive a bit longer as Muradin trying to pressure after that death. Bridge to Death back in the game, but look at this camp. It's going to be Deckard Cain all by himself. Going to be ground breaking by Garrosh, falling pretty low. Karazim should be able to chase this one down. Nice spear from Imperious. Going to be the second kill of the game for ReGen Retro, but now Splash, under a lot of pressure himself, will end up falling. They do trade out with a Dahaka at the end, and Bridge of Death, 180 health, will fall as well. Is a triple for Retro, and just the one kill onto Imperious for the Tainted Orphans as Rayvar continues to stay in here. Melly back in chase, gets the hat from Abathur, still chasing in. Karazim's here, and another kill. It's a quad for ReGen Retro, and now maybe a camp steal.
A bloodbath as well here. Low mana, low health. Oh, Deckard finds a root on a Karazim. Will he be able to get... This is a little bit scary here. His Bridge to Death is now showing up with the Abathur hat. Jumps on...
Oh, nope! What a
that
toss
was
by
amazing.
Zammy. Oh my god. It was mid-air. He's like, Shaq Fu!
Yeah, I wonder if he was just spamming his throw button there as Camp Stolen level lead. Dominating here is ReGen Retro right out of the gate.
Well, our poll is split again. Chat, you guys cannot decide this evening our third game that's had a tie vote. But I see some let's go game 5s. I think a strong sentiment that you guys want to go the distance. I know some of you tuned in last night to the Heroic Division Grand Finals, where CPOG X Fan Club was able to pull off a reverse sweep. And I think you guys got a taste of what a best of 5 can be, and you want to see it again here tonight in these Division A West Finals. I don't blame you. And yeah, I think I want to see a game 5 too.
Yeah, this has been back and forth all night. But right now, ReGen is commanding lead. Yorel going for the channel, but Dahaka, not respecting the gentleman's agreement here, is going to look for that stall.
Yeah, zoning for the slug. Look at that.
Oh, interesting. But will that make the bottom? Will they be able to find this? I don't know. Rayvar getting a little bit of stutter stepping here. Zamibars finds Bridge to Death, who's thrown in. Orpheus getting so much value as the splash finds that spear. Carries him with the finishing.
I tell you what, Splash is being the difference maker in this one. These spears from Imperius are definitely doing some work. Bottom has been channeled by ReGen Retro. Now going to try to make the play up on the top left, finding Decker Kane all by himself. Waffle Man's going to fall as well. 7-2 in kills. Stoic, did you call a stomp in game number 4? Because so far, the kill count is saying exactly that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't call it. I just looked at the pattern and said, oh, here Rayvar is getting quite low. Splash misses the first spear of the game. It's hit so many good dodges there from Rayvar as they're able to back off.
I know it's early and it's Towers of Doom, and really anything can happen late game here. But if this performance early is going to be any sort of indication of how game number 4 is going to go, I gotta believe this is just going to continue. And Murden, you can't get away. The toss, the stun, my God, these spears from Imperius in this combo are deadly.
The CC chain is nothing short of dirty. Oh my gosh, Waffle Man could get stepped and tossed there. He knows his limits here. Throws out a scouting Scroll of Sealing Ruby combo.
Happy face of Ruby.
Don't go for those potions though. You will not be happy here. Demibars takes the bush. Will get scouted out again, but this camp is already gone.
Yeah, second time in a row, ReGen Retro able to steal away the sappers from the Tainted Orphans.
And now are looking to escort them down to finish off his bottom. Oh, no.
Oh, spear not hitting that time. Zammy maybe caught out, taking a couple shots from that tower. Minions approaching. There goes the sapper, going to finish off the tower. But with double altars spawning here on the bottom side, Retro going to heal on up and get ready to go for another set. Yorel's going to have to make the long trot down and avoid a couple of those mines that have been placed by Avatar.
Ooh, yeah, blue team posturing for that bottom. Oh, find some early damage on the Zamibars, but Murden is thrown in yet again. Again, the spear is the answer here. When the spear hits, people die.
When it doesn't, they don't die.
Yeah, Yorel gonna get the channel mid. I think knowing their limits here is the red team is so much closer to level 10 here. Murden thrown, stunned again. Orphea getting close. Splash fighting the spear, and Bridge to Death dropping so low.
Haka coming in. Nice rubies again from Decker Kane, keeping Murden alive that time. Game 3, it was the Diablo making use of those. This time, pretty good value for the ruby once again. Continuing the fight with Dahaka here. This is looking much better for the Tainted Orphans.
Yeah, the Splash dropping very low. They need that spear to confirm some of these kills here. Ooh, Oltanian low, but able to blink out before that root confirms. Oh, the drag! The variations, but Splash is saved. Dahaka, the counter kill is found.
The spear just saved that drag. It would have been a kill.
Yeah. Spear getting so much value for the kill and the peel. Splash, though, a little bit isolated here. He's going to look to get some healing from that Valorous brand. Keep himself healthy. Zambibar is going to find the zone as Oltanian is going to get this channel, which will be a 12-point lead.
It will be the Divine Palm from Karazim at level 10. Eternal Feast again for this Orphea, I think makes a lot of sense, just like we saw in game number 2. And another Sapper Camp is going to be optioned off here by ReGen Retro, trying to continue this pressure in the bottom lane that they've already started up.
Imperius holding level 10, possibly Wrath of Angiris game? There's no way. Interesting. But this bottom lane pressure continues. Orphea will be showing up in just a moment here to bring that heavy damage back to their 4-man.
Ultimate Evolution now online for Abathur, can be in any of these fights. Here's Bridgetette getting taunted. Eternal Feast coming out finally, and the stay a while and listen gonna slow down this play. Spear not connecting that time from Splash, but this time charging in, finds Bridgetette again. Urel's here, trying to smash through this Murder's health bar, 500 health, get some rubies. So many rubies, back up to 100% is Bridgetette.
Yeah, they are committing so much here, but this gives time for Abathur to drop that Ultimate Evolution here. Will that be enough to change the fight? Never mind. Instantly deleting the flash, dropping very low. Divine Palm not available here. Smelly's dropping quite low.
Oh, misses a Q lash. She's gonna fall.
Oh, yep.
Didn't hit the Q, didn't have the escape, and ends up falling. Double altar phase spawning on the top side, and without Orphea up, and maybe, oh, Urel down as well. Zammy now under pressure. Spear gonna maybe slow it down for just a moment. Taunt there on the fort. They get the kill on Muradin. Greymane solo gets the hat from Abathur. Splash gonna try to chase it out, but look at this top side. Dahaka and Abathur quickly channeling off both of these altars.
The double global. Zammy, though, taking a lot of damage from this Greymane, who with the Abathur hat could possibly jump in to confirm the kill. Nope, Zammy Bar's gonna Hearth in a little bit of a precarious position, but
Confident Hearth there.
yeah.
But I tell you what, the Abathur Dahaka picking up both of those altars. What a money play for the Tainted Orphans. That's keeping them in this game right now. They would have been down considerably if that went any differently.
I think you're definitely right.
Swinging that 8 points in their favor is definitely going to help them out.
Yeah, Ultimate Evolution is available again for the next possible fight here as Zammy Bar is just looking to begin this invade. Bridgetette and Brave are the only two showing. Bridgetette thrown and jumps out. Eternal Feast is there to drop that. Oh, but it doesn't hit. Blue team gets the camp. Zammy Bar is now dropping very low. Palm drop, but the damage stops.
Oh, perfectly timed on the kill. Garrosh is down. Melly's going to fall as well. A nice double from the Tainted Orphans as Ultanian having to charge away. Yeah, not able to salvage the camp that time. Will end up being sappers stolen away by the Tainted Orphans, maybe taking their first real advantage of this game. 6-10 is the kill count, but they're starting to turn it around, Stoic.
Oh, you know, if that Eternal Feast had been 3 pixels to the left, I think that fight would have gone very differently. Now these structures pretty even in this bottom lane as the pressure's on ReGen Retro.
Well, the fort might fall here. Big minion wave and a little bit of pressure. Garrosh can help save the day with Imperius. We'll see if they can get this combo going again early game. That spear after the groundbreaker toss from Zammy Bars really was what was setting up all the kills. But Splash maybe starting to get a mind of his own, just trying to chase out this Greymane on the backside. There's a stay a while and listen. Roll a ceiling combo as well from Waffleman. Ultanian falling low, pops his self bomb. Eternal Feast has been thrown as well. Here's the Haka. Does he land the isolation? I don't think he did. Yes, he did on the top side. Look at that on Urel. She can't get in this fight. Splash trying to charge away. Will not make it out. First kill of the fight belongs to the Tainted Orphans.
Angelic Armaments was burned all the way through by that Greymane. Also finding a kill here onto Orphea. Not even using Cursed Bullet yet. Just, he doesn't quite find Zammy Bars. Zammy Bars excellent dodging. Bottom is taken. Oof.
Urel did pick up that altar, though.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, I didn't even notice either. But you look at the count, it's 28-20. So it must have been the Urel, the only hero that wasn't in that fight.
It took it right before this bottom was capped as well, so it's all 4 shots were able to go over. Level advantage in favor of the Tainted Orphans. Core health in favor of ReGen Retro. This game is very much evened out. At the level of...
Yeah, I mean, you gotta credit Abathur for that. These mines that are being placed are slowing down Urel so much in being able to double soak these lanes. Aaron's just not able to get on top of these XP globes in time. Might be in trouble here, but still has that Ardent Defender and a quick mount that time. The talent at level 7, Divine Steed, able to grant that instant mount to give Urel the safety that she needs.
So
How do they get back this bottom fort, though, Stoic?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that trying to hold this is going to be difficult. They need to find value elsewhere is what I would say, but I don't know what they can do here.
Yeah, I don't think they can get back that fort. I think just go ahead and make sure you secure at least one of these altars. Maybe win a fight and steal away the other one, but Abathur's been on that backside channeling the top left time after time.
Yeah, I think maybe knowing Abathur's going to do that again, yeah, I think that they should be pushing out to try and see if they can interrupt Abathur here. Karazeem's going to start that channel, will be able to finish. Dahaka thrown, but able to burrow away to safety. Yrel drops that Ardent Defender, able to survive, but not heal very much.
No 16s. They're going to back on out of the fight. Without Ardent Defender, they can't afford Yrel to die. And Abathur, once again, able to channel off this altar, going to send it that much closer. I think it's 17 to 19? 18? 18.
It'll be a 1-point game here. With a little bit of the distraction, red team looks to push down and probably get some damage on this bottom four, but it's not going to find it. Zambibar is dropping so low. Crucible hits the palm, though, at the last possible second. Perfect timing there. Zambibar is stuck a little bit there. Rigid Death getting this Eternal Feast value over and over and over again. Red team survives for a moment there, but Orphea popped there by that Deckard Kane Scroll Ceiling and Ruby combo. Zambibar's, again, can't pick up those potions.
Yeah, they just can't get back this bottom fort. They need to concede it outright. There's nothing they can do to move in. They don't have the siege damage, especially with Orphea dead right now. And as long as that goes on, and Yrel can't safely double soak these lanes, the XP lead is just further extending here for the Tainted Orphans. There's nothing Retro can really do right now.
Yeah, I think they need to try and find value elsewhere. Maybe look to pressure top or mid or something. It's just the zoning here is coming out so strong from this blue team, and the building damage is pretty low. Yeah, all across the board, like, building damage is quite low, actually, for the red team. A lot of spears, a lot of hammers, but not a lot of things that take down this bottom fort. 3 sappers kind of cross that goal line.
Yeah, and they're getting pretty close here. Rubies are down. Here comes Garrosh looking for anything he can find. Has to pop that Indomitable through that Scroll of Sealing. Dares the spear from Slash, but not going to lock in enough. Throws out those angelic armaments. These sappers still on the field. How many are here? Is that 4? Sammy gets the palm again, will survive. Avatar's been popped by Murden. Rigid Death trying to hold his front line, and another huge stay a while and listen from Deckard Kane. Gonna get 1, almost 2. Rayvar's gonna fall on the backside. Rigid Death is here as well. He's gonna fall, but Sappers crossed the line. And an Altar's picked up in the bottom by Abathur. Now a 7-shot lead for the Tainted Orphans here in the late game on Towers of Doom.
That taunt secures them 2 kills, but is it enough to get this fort down?
I think it might be. This time with the front line dead, Greymane's not here. Dahaka though. Variation's gonna try to make the defense, finds the drag. There's the cleanse from Karazeem. Zambi trying to run away. Actually throws away the Orphea. 200 health on Zambi, does make it out. Great defense from Dahaka. Variation saving the day on this fort.
You know, Orphea picking up here at level 13 Invasive Miasma rather than that Chomp Chaos Shield talent. Interesting pickup. Want to get that AoE damage.
Murden still dead for 2 seconds. Variation's gonna find a drag. There's the cleanse again from Karazeem. Tunneling Claws gonna get Dahaka out. Oh my god, he cannot be killed. Still has some essence, will pop it. There's the stay while and listen, and now the clone onto Dahaka. Another drag. This one connecting onto the Karazeem. Pops the self-palm, but won't fall. Barely is able to flash out of the fight, and again, 50 health goes down to the mine. Abathur with the mine gets a kill, and Garrosh falls as well. It's a double, and now level 20s for the Tainted Orphans. Double altars active, and they have possession of 5 shots. This could be the game and the set.
Wow. Oh.
And the boss. Look at the boss.
Abathur mines. Boss is a play. Man, there's so many ways to skin a cat, and we're
I think
seeing
that's
here,
it.
Tainted Orphans is setting up these mines. Look at this incredible stall here as Abathur teched heavily into mines pre-level 10.
They need to figure out a way to stall this. It's going to really have to rely somehow on Splash playing some main tank here on this Imperious. Waffleman looking for the channel, doesn't quite get it. Topside, Yrel is down. Cursed Bullet helping get the kill from Greymane. Dahaka trying to zone. They only need this final altar and the season's over. There goes Orphea. Splash the only one on the map. I think that's GG. Dahaka with the channel, and the Tainted Orphans have punched their ticket into the Division A Grand Finals.
Oh. And to think that the way that this game started, you know, it just took Tainted Orphans a moment to collect themselves and say, we can do this. And just absolutely just run it down in the second half of this game number 4 here.
Oh my god. It was a quick start with this double bruiser comp, but it all slowed down. The train fell off the rails a bit there, Stoic, and the Tainted Orphans were able to get their footing beneath them. Abathur with those huge mines slowing down the rotations of your Rel all game. What was the difference maker? Who's our MVP here?
I think we got to give it to Abathur. I mean, Abathur really just made an enormous difference there. The rotation slowing was huge. I mean, the picks, the team fight damage, the sustain that Abathur provided. Yeah, wow. I mean, I think this was kind of like an Orphea hyper carry comp, but between Deckard and Abathur keeping the team alive, it allowed Greyman to return just as much damage. And I mean, Deckard, look at Deckard Kane's hero damage.
Yeah.
Deckard Kane had, I mean, really just the blue team was looking for that perfect CC combo chain. And once the blue team was able to scale and survive, heroes stopped dying and, well,
able to finish off that Orphea 5 times in the game as well. Without your only assassin on the map, it's tough to get any kills. So let's try to get in touch with Bridge to Death, set up an interview. Stoic, you want to meet me over on the NGS server?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll see you there.
What a series.
Wow, yeah. Truthfully it was. Let's see if we can find someone. Bridge to nowhere. That's him.
Train wreck dropping in chat saying that had to go let the dogs out. Comes back to 5 kills already for Retro, then 9 kills in less than 4 minutes.
Yeah, there's a lot of quick kills there in game 4. Not enough though.
No. I don't know.
And it looks like we have a couple people joining us. We got Rayvar and Will to Live in the house. Holy smokes, what a set, what a finish there on Towers of Doom. How's the team feeling right now?
We feel pretty damn great.
Yeah.
You guys entered the Division A West playoffs with the #1 seed. You guys are going to move on through to the grand finals. Quite a testament to kind of run the gauntlet here in this double round robin division. You got to see these teams so often. And tonight, I think, really it was the culmination of all that hard work this season. As you said, the games looked good. The teams got to feel good. But walk me through a bit of it. Like, what was the game plan heading into tonight?
So I think that ReGen Retro was the next strongest team after us, and we did really respect what they had to offer. And I'm honestly, like, those were by far the hardest games of the season. And so I want to just give them a lot of credit. But I think that we've practiced a lot of our comfort picks, not just comfort picks, also just the ability to draft around the enemy team's comfort picks into familiar drafts for us that we know that we can counter them with. And I think that we have, as a team, have really stepped up and just become really, really hard to go up against. So I'm really proud of my team.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
No. Pretty much just echoing what he said, just finding like what we're comfortable with and really just executing at 100%. So yeah, they were definitely a really, really good competition.
Seemed like tonight you guys were definitely trying to prioritize the Junkrat. We saw it first on Dragonshire, later on Infernal Shrines, and then finally ReGen Retro having to pay it some respect there on Towers of Doom with a ban. Just quickly, you want to talk about the hero?
Yeah.
Go for it.
You want me to do that?
Yeah, go for it.
I love his toxicity. It kind of embodies how I feel and like what I am. Throwing traps is absolutely trash. Takes 0 skill, but pays off 100% of the time.
Hey, Will Live, I saw Taki here before. He said, toxic player playing toxic hero.
Between the Abathur and the Junkrat, all the
toxicity. I love toxicity, man. It embodies my gameplay. And every time I see a trap go off, I want to get on that target immediately. So it's Bridger screaming, like English goes out the window when like I'm playing Junkrat and Abby. It's just like there's nothing. It's just toxicity.
If it wasn't the Junkrat tonight, 3 games we got to see the Dahaka played. And you guys even bring out in game number 2 the Falstead for that double global. Talk a bit about the map presence that those heroes are able to provide and help you guys out in your team fights. And was it the difference maker you needed tonight?
I mean, that was the match that we dropped, and I think that I don't think that we lost the draft particularly. I think we didn't quite execute our double global comp quite correctly. I think most of the team fights that we had were even numbered fights that we just weren't able to leverage that global advantage to our advantage as much as I wanted it to. But you know, they played it really smart. They were able to deathball and get a lot of value out of their team fight composition. And so after that point, we just really tried to respect the fact that they were really solid on team fighting. And so we banned away some of the stronger team fight heroes and focused on the more macro aspect. That's the idea behind the Junkrat and the Abathur. As far as the Junkrat picks, I think that Junkrat is a very strong hero on maps that require maintaining map control, and especially against teams that are not practiced against dealing with it. It can really shut them down. Like, it's so hard to know what to do when taking a step anywhere could lead to something dying. And
well, it looked like tonight the first pick teams were really getting an advantage. Games 1 through 3, it was all the team who picked first in the draft, and you guys kind of broke the curse there in game number 4 on Towers of Doom. But you guys were down, I gotta say, significantly there in the early portion of the game, and it was really just Will to Live, you playing that Abathur, slowing down your rail on those rotations, able to get you guys back in the game and find a couple good fights. But talk about the first pick and how much it meant in this series.
Oh, it meant a lot.
Like majorly.
ReGen Retro, I think, of all the teams in our division, drafts the most similar-minded to us, and so I think that having that first pick and those priority bans made a huge difference. Both of our teams heavily prioritized the tank position of ETC and Johanna.
Yep.
And so whichever team was getting that hero or neither made a big difference in the drafting. And if you're not getting that, what other high priority pick are you having to give up in exchange for it? So
sure, yeah, we saw the Murden twice in lieu of the ETC Johannas. And then it was the Diablo, which I thought was maybe the best tank play of the evening in game number 3 on Infernal Shrines. Hadn't seen the old Lord coming out and really playing at that skill level in a while, but it seemed like the combo was on point, especially paired in with that Hanzo and Decker Kane.
Definitely. Yeah. Bridge played a fantastic game on Diablo, and we're happy that Diablo's seen a little bit of love in the patch, and and with both ETC and Johanna seeing some nerfs, I think we're definitely going to be seeing more of the Garrosh especially, and because of that, more of the Diablo, especially now that he's buffed a bit more.
Stoic, I've been hogging the mic. You got any questions for these guys?
You know, Murder, you're asking all the questions that I had jotted down that I wanted to ask. Perfect. My big question, though, that we haven't covered as yet is going forward. You talked about how you had done lots of studying of the division. You know, you've played these teams twice, and you've been obviously, studying Retro to make some counters. I saw some things that got me excited, seeing like, oh, this is definitely happening to counter what Retro's trying to do. What's going to be your process preparing for what's next? For the next
That's a tough one, because I'd been preparing for the top 1 and 2 seeds, and then they both got upset and lost to I think the 5th seed and 6th seed or something like that. And so the other teams
3 are still left. It's
5 and 3.
Parsley, Snag, Rosemary, and Line, or Team Happy Cloud will be your opponent.
Yeah. So those teams, I think from what I've seen so far, they do like to play more unconventional HOTS. They play the double healer type compositions and stuff like that. So we're going to do our homework and prepare for that, and just make sure that we know what we're doing. And
So who's stronger, the West or the East? Are you going to represent for your brethren in the West, or do you think the East has any chance at beating you guys?
Oh, let me take it, baby. This is my kind of question. I definitely think, after watching all these streams, that the West is bringing the heat. I think East is like playing on maybe harder difficulty versus AI, and the West is like actually playing some ranked games. So I hope they actually upset me here and give us a little bit of a challenge. But if not, we'll take the cake and have the icing along with it.
Well, I love the friendly banter and appropriate level of smack talk without being too crazy. I'm definitely excited to see how that grand final shapes out. Of course, we still don't know who your opponent exactly is going to be. I think their matchup is on Sunday night. So for you viewers at home, and I guess you guys that are going to be playing in it, make sure you tune into that. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. I mean, you guys are the champs of the West. You've got to be feeling good. You probably want to go back home and celebrate a bit with your teammates. But before we let you go, a little bit of time for some shout-outs.
Well, I'll let you go first.
Sure. Big shout out. I think tonight our MVP is going to be Bridge. As Revar said, that Diablo game. I haven't seen Bridger play Diablo in a long time, and seeing how he can just immediately flip the switch and get back into it and remember how to play, that was really big. It was a really big moment for us. Shout out to you casters. Thank you guys so much for being here. It's always so fun to watch VODs and to see you guys cast these games. It really hypes up the team. Shout out to West, big time. Like, it's been a really fun season. And we will carry you guys with us as we head over to East, and we will not let these games go in vain. And we hope that you guys come back for another season of NGS.
Absolutely. Hey, I want to see you guys sign up for the Storm Division qualifiers. You guys are definitely a team to watch, and definitely, I think, a big threat to win these grand finals next week.
Yeah, we
Thanks so much. Yeah.
Well, best of luck as you prepare. Go celebrate with the team, pop some champagne, whatever you're going to do. And I'll be tuning in next week. I did just get word the match is tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, if you want to watch that.
Excellent. Right on. Sounds good.
Look forward to
All right. Well, we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for coming in.
All right.
Catch you later. GG's.
All right, we're going to get Stoic back on the line here. Stoic! You got to put the shades back on, man.
Yeah, one of these days I'm going to poke my eye out.
Wow. Dude, that was...
Try to pretend like I wear these glasses all the time.
That was a set. I'm sad ReGen Retro's knocked out. They were the final hope for the org here in Season 9. No championships this season, but that team played a hell of a season. Really put up a good fight tonight. Tried bringing out a little bit of uniqueness, especially there in game number 4 with a double bruiser comp. So ReGen Retro, if you're still tuned in, I love you guys. You didn't let me down. You guys are fantastic. I still love you. Stoic, any final words from you before we, I guess, close out the season here on our channel here?
Wow. Crazy. You know, what an incredible series we've had. We saw some amazing things coming from, like, countering a double global. We saw, Diablo play that looked like it was way more impactful than a Johanna game could be. We saw some Junkrat play. We saw some Abathur. Lots of things that whoever's watching the VOD or whoever's watching tonight, I hope that you can pick up a few tricks to take into Season 10.
Be sure to give this man a follow. Twitch.tv/HLSStoic. He's going to do some streaming soon. I'm going to make him do some streaming soon, in fact.
Yeah.
Stoic.
Hit me up on Twitter as well. Tweet all the time.
Stoic, it's been a pleasure casting with you all season long. This is, of course, our last one here. However, next week we're going to try to get our hands on one of those grand finals. You can tune into those on twitch.tv/Nexus Gaming Series. Hopefully you guys, I don't know which one it's going to be. Maybe it'll be Division A. I think there's still B, C, or D available. Thank you for those bits, by the way. Aura throwing in the party bit. Great games, everyone. I got to agree. Those were fantastic. I had a good time. Stoic, I know you had a good time. Before you guys go, be sure you hit that follow button. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell, do those things. But yeah, that's it. We're going to wrap it up. It is past 1 a.m. here on the East Coast. Time for some sleep. I've been Murda. He's been Stoic. You guys have been fantastic. And we will see you guys in the Nexus. And there's a tranquility again from Alperian, keeping targets up as Ragnaros landing a 4-man Sulfurous Smash. Durance of Hate from Mephisto, and this combination executed perfectly at the end of the game.
From Alarak. Make it a quad kill set up by that East.
Wow, did you see that mosh pit? 4-man mosh pit while on a conveyor belt. That was like a regular sushi line.
Nubrak, 4 at 50%. Both cores are just absolutely melting. Which one's going to go down first? I think this is going to be Respect the Gooses. Oh my goodness.
Ring. Oh my goodness, the ring. Jaina just pulling up everybody here. That's a 4, making 5
And it
for
does
nothing.
knock them all up. What a play. Oh my God, somebody please clip that.